And you are very welcome back to SVDS round 2. And look, I'm really excited. It was really exciting there last round. It was definitely a very challenging track for our drivers. A little bit easier. I think the drivers are a lot more forgiving at this one. And certainly they're glad to see the bank has taken a little bit of a rest. But look, I'm really excited for this round. We have a stacked grid as usual. And Brandon, you are joining me in the commentary booth. You are doing a bit of driving as well. But look, glad to have you here as always.
Yes, Luke. Welcome back, everyone, to the second round of the Scottish Virtual Drift Series. We do have a really cool layout, and from my perspective in practice, it is going to be a very interesting layout. But we do have a video to show you all of what there is to be expected of this layout. So we'll just show that now.
So there you have it. There was our track layout. Now, first up on the line, unfortunately we have no Armand Vesmanis, but up on the line is Kieran Bond in a Toyota Supra. So he's going to be the one setting the pace here tonight, setting basically what you're going to be seeing for the rest of the night. Obviously the main show is on tomorrow battles, which is what we all really want to see. But look, Kieran Bond, look, really excited to see what he can do. Obviously it's always really nerve-wracking being the first one up to the line for qualifying, Brandon.
Oh, yes, definitely. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. I mean, to be honest, in my case, it would work for me because I can get my runs done and continue commentary. But as the lights go green, we have Kieran Bond in that 880 Supra coming into the initiation, flicking it in, going into outside zone 2, keeping it nice and wide there, making sure he doesn't flirt with the outside line too much as he comes into out zone 3, transitioning very snappy into clip 4. Coming around the sweeper in front of the office. Look at this lovely wide line here as we come through into the last section of the track, keeping it nice, big angle into that last transition, coming around into the horseshoe as he comes into that last outside zone there, coming across line. Very nice run so far to start off with, Luke.
Yeah, well, definitely, like I mentioned earlier, this is the one setting the pace, and I think that's exactly what Kieran Bond did there. Really nice run from him. And yeah, OZ just takes a little bit off the grass. He's not driving a Honda, but look, nothing really to complain about there. Big angle, exactly what the judges said in briefing. I think it's a really good banker lap. So I do believe next up on the line will be Simon Sandman. So yeah, Simon Sandman up on the line. Another really exciting driver. He was definitely on one there last round. Always just really good to watch. So anyway, we are ready to go off the line here once the lights reset themselves. I think we're getting a small bit ahead of ourselves. Obviously, it's the first few rounds of the night. We're still getting into it.
We're just getting a score.
And I can announce it's an 84.7 for Kieran Bond on that first one. So look, I'm pretty sure that has to see him through. If it's not, then look, mad. But really good banker lap put down there from Kieran Bond. And yeah, I think that's pretty much a definition of a clean textbook run. So yeah, he's doing the smart thing, you know, has his banker down, and he can definitely push the label a bit on the second one.
Oh, yes. There's a good start to the round so far. I know he's going to be happy with that, as we have this sensational Simon Sandman at the start line in that brand new S14. I think it's an S14. I can't remember. Yeah, it is an S14. But here we go.
So yeah, I do believe that is a Zenki, but look at this nice weight transfer initiation in from Simon Sandman, washing out nice and wide. Once again, textbook here so far. Nice snappy transition over into outer two, or in through danger alleys, we called it there last round, into the sweeper, long past the office, keeping the shoe down as we transition over into the final sections of the track, into the roundabout, which I think is going to be really good for battles. I always love a good old roundabout in drifting. So yeah, look, once again, textbook run there from Simon Sandman. This round is definitely gearing up to be a nice one. Obviously, we had a really challenging layout there last round. I think the drivers are easing into this one a small bit better. And yeah, I do believe there is a scoring. It's not as high. It's a 78-point run there from Simon Sandman. So obviously, the judges there, they're very hard to please. You know, they're very particular people. But yeah, 78-point run there from Simon Sandman, which currently slots him into second place. But next up, Brandon, is Jan Mattis on the line in another S14, but slightly different kit.
Yep, so we've got that boss kit S14. Bit unfortunate for Simon Sandman to start with. Obviously, he had a couple of issues getting here on time, but it looks like it's washed out a bit too wide there. And as he comes around, he's got to try and bring that back, but I think that will be a 0 for his first run. But obviously, he wants to put a show on for you guys. Bringing that boss S14 around. That thing is pretty quick, I'll give him that. It's not any slouch compared to some of the grid out there. As he comes around into that horseshoe, finishing off the run.
Yeah, it is really a shame what happened there in the first corner, because the rest of the run was actually quite good, and like you said, he looks so fast around there.
Just giving someone a little nudge there. Yeah, like I said about Simon Sandman, he hasn't had really any practice, so the score does reflect.
Did mention that he has no practice on the track. Next up, this is gonna be a big one. It's William Holloway in that RX-7 there, flicking it in. Look at this. That car looks absolutely gorgeous as he washes out there into 2. Back over to 3 now, keeping the foot down. Smoke blaring out of that RX-7 as he transitions back over into the sweeper past the office. Look at this, right out to the white line. Look, these guys, obviously, except for Simon Sandman, will be getting their practice down. They have this track absolutely dialed. And I will say, William looks incredibly quicker on this circuit.
Oh, yes, that is a very nice outside horseshoe line as well from William there. That rotary just putting in the work as it should be. But we'll have to see what the judges score with that beautiful looking car. Had a lot of practice with his teammate, Rashandi. And they're seeming very confident and comfortable in this layout so far, so we'll have to see how this reflects in the rest of the qualifying.
And once again, by the way, guys, just like last round, RYZE is once again the last judge to to get his run down, or to get his score down, so I would like that to be mentioned, that RYZE once again is the slowest judge. But next up on the line is Ernestus Yakubulis up off the line, so RYZE actually doesn't have a score. Oh, it's an 82.3, sorry, for William. As we flick it in here, another excellent driver. Look, you're always going to bet a good run there on Ernestus, Brendan.
Oh yes, so the machine himself, Ernestus Yakubulis, coming into this outside zone, just outside the office. Did have a bit of a check-up at the start of the run, but maybe it's just him getting to grips with the way the conditions are on the track at the moment. But as he comes and flicks into this outside zone here, bringing it nice and wide, really flowing with the wide outside line. As the judges did say in the briefing that if you don't get rewarded for pinning it against that outside white line. So Ernestus just coming out with all of the style, proving that he wants to be the best.
Yeah, definitely, but he will have a hard charging Kieran Bond up here so far, who once again is already back in line. We're already looped around there in Group A, so it is an 82, so Kieran Bond does actually still remain first in qualifying. So look, he's a good run down in the first one. Let's see what he can do when he wants to push the label a little bit more and pretty much just have fun with this one.
Oh yes, I'm intrigued to see how he does in his second run.
I will say definitely a dangerous position to be in car-wise. You know, you've a really good one down into your first one, and you're just going to try push the label. Most time it can be either really spectacular, or it will probably end in a 0 because you're trying to push the label a little bit too much, find your limits. But anyway, here we go. Kieran Bond up off the line, nice flick over in that Supra. The Supra seem to be really competitive here at Driftland, Brendan.
Oh yes, I've driven my teammates in A80 as well, and it's no slouch. They are definitely no slouch, and Bondi here definitely showing off that it can walk the walk as he flicks it out into this last section here, keeping it nice and wide there, pushing it against those cones. Those cones are trembling for their lives right now as he comes across the line, making it very nice and clean. As the judges also said, I'm going to bring up the judges a lot today, they're looking for smoothness and consistent driving.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, Kieran, we didn't say it in the first one because obviously first guy up, you can't really say anything about being quick until you've seen the other guys, but yeah, look, he also looks really dialed. He's big angle pretty much everywhere he can be big angle, which is what the judges want. And yeah, I can definitely see him being a force to be reckoned with there into battles, which obviously is the main show. Qualifying is just the pre-event, you know, getting your position sorted out. But look, we all want to see some exciting driving, and I do believe we are going to get a really exciting score dropping in here. As RYZE actually even corrects it, and it's a 91.3. So we are in Group A, and we're already into the 90s. So look, I'm telling you, they weren't too fond of Group A in the infamous bank, and I think if you give drivers a layout they're quite happy with, then they're definitely going to put on a show for us. So look, here we go, 91.3 for Kieran Bond. We bring it back around to the man who's had zero practice whatsoever. He said practice is for chumps. I'm just going to come up to the line and just do my thing. So here we go, Simon Sandman up off the line, Brandon, here we go.
And as you can see, he's the sensational Simon Salmon coming into this second outside zone as he goes through clip 1. It's transitioning into outer zone 3, keeping it nice and wide here. Definitely in the danger zone as he comes through the power alley. Coming around outside the office. I think that's spin 6, I can't remember from memory. As he transitions nice, big and snappy here, coming around towards the horseshoe, keeping it nice and wide. Once again, the cones are absolutely fearing for their lives as Simon stares at him with the biggest death stare I think I've seen anyone in with a drift car.
Yeah, definitely improvement there from Simon. Absolute stormer of a run as we bring it back up to the line with Jan Matthias. So obviously a 0 on the first one with it all to play for, as we just wait for RYZE to drop in that final score for Simon Sandman so we can announce it to you guys. But so far it's looking good. It's an 85.3 there for Simon Sandman. So look, he had his practice run out the way. So that currently slots him into second position at the moment. So yeah, look, here we go, Brendan. The man with it all to play for at the moment, Jan Matthias.
Now, what an interesting car it is. You don't see many of the baskets as he initiates in. Definitely trying to make sure he doesn't make the same mistake as his previous run, but kind of comes a bit too shallow, but he seems to bring it back into this second half of the run. Transitioning around, coming in front of the office, in front of that dangerous bank there, as he transitions into the last Manji of the track. Coming in nice and wide, keeping it nice and clean so far. Definitely wanting to put a score onto the board so he can get into panels tomorrow. So nice work from Jan there. Hopefully
yeah, definitely. Look, his line was quite good there, but I think it wasn't as smooth as I think the judges would want it to be. They did mention that in briefing, and you mentioned it there earlier on. You know, smoothness is key around this track to getting a good score. That's why you're seeing like Kieran Bond getting his 90-point runs. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a 69.3 there from Jan. So look, it's going to be a long wait for him tonight as we bring it back up to the line with William Holloway.
And yes, here we have the insane driver himself, Mr. William Holloway from Carmo Racing. Flicking it in an outside clip 1 as he comes. Oh, he checks up a bit there. So it kind of seems to have a bit of maybe an oversteering issue as he comes around into the power alley, transitioning into that outer clip. And so I think that might have shaken him a bit as he came around into that first outside zone, but we'll have to see if it can deter him for the rest of the run, as so far it's looking pretty dialed in. So as he comes around the horseshoe, comes across the line, and maybe it's just a bit of an unfortunate check up that hopefully it could be that his first run might be better than his second, but I'm not a judge.
Definitely currently sitting on an 82.3, so yeah, I do have to agree with you there. That checkup was definitely a bit odd. It will hurt him, but other than that, like, he was pretty dialed, and it's always a bit of a shame to see a mistake in the first half of the run and then they do a really good second. Yeah, I mean, he does not improve.
But it was a very uncharacteristic little thing from William. It's not often I see something like that from him, so hopefully we'll see him in battles, and it's going to be a long evening. It's going to be a long evening for him.
Yeah, definitely. And Oh, and we have the group results up at the moment. So Kieran Bond there leading with Simon Sandman, the man with no practice, and he's currently in second. Now we do have Ernestus yet to run, and like you said, he's an absolute machine. He's going to be hearing, yeah, Kieran got a 91.3, so he's going to be like, no, that's not enough. Let's go more. And here we go, the machine. Ernestus is off the line. Normally we're saying James Dean for that, but no. Ernestus Yakubulis is off the line in that lovely S14, transitioning over. Look at this. He's definitely determined as he comes through to the first sections of the track, filling the outside zone really nicely past the office, keeping the shoe down. Let's see. Big angle once again. Look at that, flirting with the edge of the track as he comes into the roundabout, and big angle once again. And that is a really quick lap, and it's technically brilliant. So let's see. Will he improve from that 82-point run? Not a whole pile wrong there, Brandon.
Definitely a beautiful run. I thought he was going to catch the back of that bank, to be honest, but it looks like it's an 86 for Ernestus there. So definitely not this. It's a bit of a change up so far between round 1 and round 2, because usually Ernestus is a very concise line driver. So we'll have to see how this reflects in battles for sure, because well, this is SVDS, this is drifting, it's very unpredictable. So we'll have to. Yeah,
definitely.
It's a bit of a crazy one. But it looks like we will be going into the second group here, and we will get you all informed and ready for that.
Yeah, definitely. Also, a big shout out to all of our sponsors there. You can see them down at the bottom right of your screen, but obviously a huge shout out there to GT Omega, who are indeed sponsoring an ART cockpit there for the winner of the championship, which is just so insane that such a huge company is on board with us this season. And yeah, huge thanks to GT Omega.
Oh yes, definitely. And we do have, I don't know if the news has been put out yet, but we do have an extra little thing coming from them soon. So keep your eyes peeled, and we'll I'll have to check if we're allowed to mention it.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's really exciting times for us here at SVDS. You know, we've a new track model, we've new everything. And the drivers are ready to shred, and we are just going to be waiting to get into Group B. You know, really exciting Group A so far. Obviously, with Kieran Bond pretty much setting the tone for the evening with that 91.3.
Definitely, it's going to be more exciting because I'm in Group B, so I will see you all then. After.
All right. There you have it. So, look, you only have me for the time being. Once Brandon gets his runs out of the way, you'll hear his lovely voice once again. But look, we've another really exciting lot of drivers coming up, like Dominic Bergman, Harvey Cundy, obviously Brandon. He's all right. You know, I think he's better at the old commentating than he is actually drifting. That's just my opinion. James Young, Caden James as well, and Luis Zanata. So yeah, look, really exciting lot of drivers.
I can't believe you'd say that about me. I've just had confirmation, and I can mention that GT Omega has been kind enough to provide one of their luxury gaming chairs for second place. So they have not only just donated an ART cockpit, but they have been generous enough to provide an extra prize for second place to up the stakes. So it's definitely going to be a one to compete for. But with that, I'll leave you with that information, and I'll bid you farewell, and I will see you after this group.
Yeah, so there you have it. Just huge thanks again to GT Omega. It's absolutely insane. So I'm just getting confirmation there if the Group B is hopping into the server. I'm not too sure will we be taking a commercial break just yet, but so first up, I believe in Group B will be Luis Zanata. So once again, really exciting driver. Then it'll be Harvey Cundy. Then it'll be SVDS's very own Brandon Carter, who will be probably judged a lot harsher than any other driver. Then Caden James and James Young. So a lot of Jameses in this one. So yeah, just waiting for Group B to fill on in, getting the drivers organised, getting them comfortable. Obviously their practice is now finished. They've had plenty of time in the practice servers to get used to the track, get used to the other drivers, and get used to their own car most importantly. But, you know, if you don't know your car, you don't know nothing really. So look, just waiting for the guys to hop on in there. As I do see that RYZE is in the voice chat, just making sure the drivers are 100% clear on everything. Looking on a little bit further then on into the future, we do have Brian Gardner up into Group C, Edward Cusa, Jaden, I will have to get a bit of confirmation there on how to pronounce his last name, unfortunately. Just commentator bad. Liam Skehill, Michael Trabb, Nicholas Neutschkel, and Owen Magner. So, yeah, look, really exciting. A lot of drivers coming on up as we wait for our Group B to fill on in. So, once again, thanks to all of our sponsors. And if you are curious on how things are currently sitting, Kieran Bond is currently first with a 90.3. After that, it is Ernestus Yakubulis with an 86 dead, actually. Then Simon Sadman, the man with no practice whatsoever, with an 85.3, not far behind Ernestus. So that is your current top three. Obviously, this is subject to change because we have a lot of drivers to get through. And I can announce that there was a few little concerns that he wouldn't show up, but Connor Falvey is indeed in the voice chat ready to send fresh off the back of Driftmasters. Then David Hunter, David McKeever, Dominic Bergman, and Paul Lisowski. That is Group D. And then Group E, as I can just see the VC, E for Excellence. Barnett Padosky, or Pakosdi, yeah, Cameron Mustard, Omer from CDT. I will have to see, is he driving the car infamously? Which, if you were watching there round one, I think it's going to become a running joke because me and Brandon were a little bit stumped on this car. Nicholas Bond, Nikhil Wadekar, and Vadim Abramov. So, yeah, once again, getting into the little flow of things. We've had a nice little break. The drivers have had time to cool down a little bit after round one. So, just waiting for Group B to fill on in. And once again, thanks for sticking on watching Group B, or SVDS, but we are ready for Group B. So Luis Sonata here in another S chassis. I think there, as I just see a bonnet there flying up and down in the air. I'm not too sure which driver that is. So here we go. It's going to be Luis Sonata up on the line as, we've been visited by RYZE. And he's gone again. So there you go. Very temporary little visit there from RYZE in the chat. Unfortunately, no words from the stream. He's a quiet old chap. So here we go, Luis Sonata up onto the line. Lovely livery there. I do love purple on an S chassis, but I'm not too sure. Is this mainly S chassis? I think I see the front of a Supra there. So we're gonna have to see. Let's see what he can do as we wait for the judges to get prepared. Obviously, if one of the judges was just in here, they still have to get a few little things sorted out, but he is in the judges' VC. So we wait for that lovely semaphore to light up and let these guys off the line. And if you are just joining us, this is round 2 of SVDS, and we are off the line. Here we go from Luis Sonata, flicking it on into outer 1, washing out nice and wide to 2. So obviously judges have said in briefing that they want him to be on as much angle without throwing a backwards entry or anything, and keeping it nice and smooth. That is pretty much how you get a good score on the board. Coming very close to the bank is Luis Sonata as he transitions back over. Now this is probably my favorite section. You see them coming in through. The suspension is compressed and they're on max angle, and then they're coming on into the roundabout past the line. Not a bad run there from Luis Sonata. Definitely a nice banker run as we just wait for that score to drop on in, as he very neatly brings himself back up to the queue. And this could be a big one, and it's an 86.3 there for Luis Sonata. So that slots him into second position currently. And next up is Harvey Cundy, a good mate of mine there, representing Form 7 Performance, Pinch Me Graphics, and 443 Motorsport. Here we go, Harvey Cundy there after getting an excellent chase run there on Ernestus last round. Not bad so far from that Form 7 S15. Harvey Cundy not doing a bad old job. He did want me to mention, by the way, that he is still on Logitech G29 hardware. So, look, just showing that you don't have to have $2,000 set up to compete here at SVDS. And look at this big angle. It's too much stuff for Harvey Cundy. It's a big mistake. So, yeah, it's unfortunate to see, with it all to play for now for him in the second run. So we're going to bring it up now. Obviously, that is a 0 for anyone wondering for Harvey Cundy. Next up is Brendan Carter. Let's see, is he better commentating than he is driving, or is he pretty good driver? I know he was absolutely delighted last round after a really good run there in 32 and onward. So here we go, Brandon Carter in that lovely FrontSide Racing S15. So here we go off the line as we get a small little bit of lag on my end, flicking it in. Let's see the commentator himself, Brandon Carter, all the way out to the line. Look at this, nice and smooth transitioning back over. And yeah, once again, nice and wide. Look, I think he actually listened in briefing for once, which is always a big help to him. keeping it nice and wide past the offices, back over into this lovely section, transitioning back over, very nice quick transition over into the roundabout, keeping it nice and smooth. What a banker run there from Brendan Carter. So yeah, obviously he was a little bit nervous going in. He said he was stiff, he wasn't that comfortable and stuff, but yeah, I think he's going to be really happy with that one. Nice banker wrap. It is a 76, so not quite as high as I thought it was going to be, but look, I'm sure Brendan Carter is going to hear this, and he's going to work to improve it on the second one. And look at this, the flames blaring out of that Wild Monkeys Drift Team BMW. I do believe that's an E92 back end and M2 front end. So look at this now, Caden James doing a real nice job here so far. Obviously these Wild Monkeys boys, they're called Wild for a reason. They definitely have some experimental cars going on as they transition back over on max angle. Look at this, that E92 working so well as he comes in through the roundabout. Flames blaring out of the bonnet of that amalgamation there of BMW. So let's see, what will it be for Caden James, doing a really nice job there. And so far mid-80s from our first judge, waiting for the scores to drop on in as we get James Young up on the line. And it's an 84 there from Caden James, not too bad. I'll have to check out where that currently sits him. So look, James Young in the Toyota Supra. These cars seem to be really competitive here, with Marco Rupp taking the win in a Toyota Supra there last round and Owen Magner placing third in the same car. It was borrowed, so here we go. James Young doing a real nice job here so far, washing out nice and wide, doing as the judges say to him. Once again, a lot of these cars look really pacey at the moment, so I think we're in for a really fast battle action tomorrow as he transitions back over into the roundabout. Real nice job there from Caden James. Definitely a good banker lap. Nice textbook lead run here so far from James Young, waiting for that score to drop on in. And I do believe that will actually be the end of Group B already. So look, really quick group, which means we will have Brendan back in. So it's an 81.7 there from James Young, which means Kieran Bond is still currently at first, as we wait now to swap him back around for the second half of Group B. So here we go, Luis Sonata currently sitting on an 86.3, which puts him second in qualifying at the moment, but can he go one higher and get himself into the 90s and potentially dethrone Kieran Bond? As the lights are gone, that purple S chassis is off the line. I do believe that's an S14.9 by the back window, or the side window, sorry. As we come in through, once again, real nice line here from Luis Sonata as he smokes out Driftland here. Coming on through, transitioning back over. So yeah, real exciting driving. Lewis has a really nice, neat driving style as he transitions back over now into the roundabout. Yeah, look at this. Not a bad run whatsoever there from Luis Sonata. Will he improve though? That's what we're going to have to see. Potentially, I think he left a little bit of aggression on the table. I think he could have been a small bit snappier in places, but we're going to have to see. Obviously, Supers are such a big car. And oh, this could be a big one as we wait. Like I said, I'm only the commentator. The judges are the guys with the real insight. They're the ones that make this happen. So look, this could be a big one, judging by the first judge's score dropping in. Waiting for the rest of them to follow suit now. So next up on the line, by the way, will be Harvey Cundy representing Form 7 Performance. So currently sitting on a 0. He has it all to play for now as he brings it up on the line. And this is where the nerves start to set in, and it's an 88.7 there for Luis Sonata. He does improve, further pushing himself there into second position, a little bit further away from Ernestus. So next up is Harvey Cundy on the line as we're really swiftly moving him on through to this qualifying action. So look, no time wasted here at SVDS. So let's see, he's currently sitting on a 0. The nerves are setting in. I'm trying to put as much pressure on him as possible if he is listening to the stream. So here we go. Harvey Cundy off the line in that Form 7 Performance S15. And here we go. Nice initiation here once again from Harvey Cundy. It was just that last section there that caught him out. So obviously I know he was looking for a spotter. I don't think he got one. So he'll know himself where the mistake was made as he transitions back over nice and wide. Harvey Cundy not playing it safe whatsoever. He definitely wants to put on a show for us here tonight. As he transitions back over nice and wide. Look at this, flirting with that Clipney sign. As I do believe he actually lifts a wheel there coming through into that roundabout. And look, he got a run on the board, and it's definitely an improvement. So yeah, Harvey Cundy got to figure it out there. Got her turned. So we're going to have to see what that 443 Motorsport driver can do. Waiting for the score to drop in. So next up on the line will be the commentator himself, Brandon Carter. And finally waiting for RYZE once again, as always. We're always waiting for RYZE to put in his scores. Brandon is off the line. We haven't gotten a score quite yet from Harvey Cundy, but Brandon Carter, I love the look of this car. The black and white just looks... The look of his car is just absolutely awesome, I think. It's just really tidy. So let's see. As I do see some slight lag issues creeping in. I'm not too sure whose side that is on. As, look at this. Brandon Carter not doing a bad job. The lag seems to have tidied itself up a small little bit now. Currently sitting on a 76. Nice job there from Brandon Carter. And I can announce there from Harvey Cundy on that last one, it is an 80.3. So look, not bad at all. But that was the last run. Let's move on to this one. What is Brandon Carter going to get on this one? Will he improve that from that 76? I'd say he will. It was quite a good run. So, finally, waiting for a Ahara to drop in. And it's a 79.7, so unfortunately doesn't break it into the 80s, but he does actually improve with a 76. Next up is the Wild Monkeys driver from Caden James. So, here we go. Caden, once again, really good driver. Currently sitting on an 84, which I'm sure will see him through 2 battle action. But let's see what he can do when he wants to push the label a little bit, get a bit more aggressive. Look at this. That car looks so fluid and smooth. It's just really nice. I think having a longer wheelbase car and stuff allows for smoothness, but they're not going to be as snappy as, let's say, an S chassis. But look, he is making absolute artwork out of this track so far as he comes in through. That car looks so dialed. It's really quick as he comes in through. Flames blare out the bonnet once again. And give it up there for Caden James. Not doing a bad run. Currently sitting on an 84. Let's see what he can do to improve. Improve on it. Judges currently sitting in. Ty currently saying, look, he did the exact same thing. Ahara not currently agreeing. He said it's a little bit lower and he does not improve, unfortunately. It's an 82.7, so we'll be resorting back to his 84-point run. So, look, not bad either. It's an 84, so nothing really to complain about there. Next up is James Young, currently sitting on an 81.7 in a Toyota Supra. I was mentioning earlier on when James was running how competitive these Supras have become there in SVDS. And he's flicking in. Look at this now. They look a really smooth car to drive as he just washes out nice and wide out to clip 2. So it looked to me that he was a small little bit uncomfortable coming into that first corner, so he just had to dab on the left foot brake to push him out a little bit wider. And I definitely think that could punish him there, as he was, it seemed to me, on the wrong guard coming into the first corner. But like I said, I'm just the commentator as we coming through. Not a bad run there from James Young, keeping it nice and smooth as he keeps her going. Look at this, no lift whatsoever as he smokes out Driftland. Just put a bit of a celebration on as oh, he's ready for a chase run. Look at this as he's decided not to do it. He's done good, you know. He's not pushed the label too much. He's decided to be a good boy and not do it. So let's see. So he actually equals his previous run. So it's 281.7s for James Young. So here is your current group results. So Lewis United winning this group in qualifying. We're going to take a small little break there for commercial. So stay with us.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
GT Omega. Stay ahead of the game.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell 'em I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
GT Omega. Stay ahead of the game.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell 'em I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
GT Omega. Stay ahead of the game.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell them I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
GT Omega. Stay ahead of the game.
Welcome everyone back to the second round of the Scottish Virtual Series SVDS. It looks like we've gone overlaid this time for the qualifying scores. Thank you, Blackout, for that. And we have the next group here, which we will be starting off with. I cannot find it.
Edward Husa. So,
Oh, there it says down there. I'm playing blind.
look, you're just blinded by your qualifying runs. You know, you got such in the zone tunnel vision. So, look, we are ready to go. This is a VDC public car, I believe. So, look,
It is indeed.
we did see some shake-ups last round, actually, with public cars. In fairness, they weren't. You know, it's not, the private cars aren't having it all their own way. Nothing wrong with an old public car, especially if you're kind of not as into the game, just doing comps here and there. No, nothing wrong with using a public car for a while. So look, Edward Husa is on the line. I'm not too sure. I don't think he done last round. So obviously, new driver here for us in this season. So here we go, flicking in. Not a bad line here so far from Edward Husa as he washes it. Ooh, big correction there. So look, not perfect. Judges will be looking there for as smooth a run as possible while throwing on or keeping as big an angle as you could do, as we saw throughout. Obviously, still top of qualifying is Kieran Bond, and yeah, look, Brandon, a few mistakes there starting to creep in there from Husa, and I do believe there's a small little bit of lag as well.
Oh yes, we do seem to have a few drivers reporting some frame issues as they've been practicing, so we're not sure what's going on there, but hopefully it doesn't take people out too badly. But
Yeah,
we'll have to
not
see.
the perfect run there at all there from Edward, just especially in that last zone. He did wash a little bit shallow there into the roundabout, so it's a 67.7, so look, not what he's going to be wanting to see, but I'm sure he can tidy it up for the second one. Next up is Brian Gardenier, or yeah, there we go. I'm going to assume that's how you pronounce it. So I'm going to pronounce the I in that one. So yeah, look, it's once again the dominant S chassis coming up the line. Well, actually, not as dominant as you'd think. The Super seemed to be the car to be driving there last round, obviously with Marco Rook taking the round win.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Brian's definitely got a lot to prove with this R33. I think he's the only R33 in the season, actually, saying that.
So it's actually wrong in saying S chassis. Whoops, my bad.
Yep, no, that is an R33 Skyline GTR.
Look, it's still in this end, but instead it's the R chassis. He flicks it in. Look, let's see what he can do here, Brandon. And look, you can see a few little issues there with either frame or leg creeping in once again. So, look, Brian not doing a bad job here so far, Brandon.
No, definitely not. It's with that Swift livery R33 here coming into the last section of the track. Giving it a nice big flick. A lot of momentum coming through there, but he manages to keep it controlled as he comes around that last outside zone. Kind of creeping a bit out, but manages to bring it back in. Coming across the line very, very, very wide there. We'll have to see how that reflects in his first score.
Like you said there's so much momentum coming down there. It's definitely my favourite section of the track. It's just so cool. It's full throttle, just max angle. You know, quick, snappy transition over into the roundabout. Just so cool. And I definitely love this layout. Obviously, round one challenged a lot of drivers, and I think this is a bit of a return to form for a lot of them. But yeah, it's a 45.7 for Brian, unfortunately.
We've still got one more score.
Sorry, it's a 69.3, sorry, as we wait. So, look, so far, this group is proving to be a little bit challenging there for the drivers. As let's see, it is going to be
Jaden. We got Jaden in here in that S14. I think Jaden's a KMR driver from my experience. Yes, he is one of the KMR team drivers. He's very new, but as you can see, has been checking up quite a bit in the start there. Just unfortunately struggling to get the car to go, as it is a very tight section. So if you get the gearing just a little bit wrong, you can bog very easily on this section, but he manages to finish the run up very nicely there.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think a lot of these guys are having a few little issues. I'm not too sure how much practice these guys have gotten, as I do believe it is not the most infamous car in the grid. This is the Toyota Soarer. I was just making sure that it wasn't a certain car. I'm not too sure is he doing it today, but
it's definitely up there with the infamous C, to be honest, because
look, Wild Monkeys overall is quite infamous. They definitely pushed the label in this game. So look, Brandon, take it away.
as you can see here, we have Liam in that big sort of very big car to be taken through such a small section. And as you can see, he's coming in through these clips very nice and comfortably, making it look very smooth in a very big chassis. And it's going to be interesting to see if he gets into battles, because it's quite a big car to chase through that section. So everyone's going to have to watch out for that rear end swinging around as he comes into that last outside zone, keeping it nice and wide, kind of wavering in a bit of angle there, but he keeps it going nice and strong. Lovely finish there from Liam.
Yeah, definitely. I will say I love the look of these Soarers. I just always liked them, and I definitely think whether it's sim drifting or IRL drifting, I want more Soarers, please.
Ooh,
As
yeah.
it is a 75.7 dropping in. So next up, I believe it will be Nicholas in another R33. So
Oh, I was wrong. There is more than one R33. I am so sorry, Nicholas, that I forgot you had an R33. Quite a different style, though. Obviously, colour changes.
yeah, definitely different colors. He's decided to go for the big spoiler gang. So obviously, the last R33 going for the subtle look. He's definitely not going for subtle. It reminds me kind of the old D1 style with the big body kits and stuff. I love the old school style here. But let's see, what can Nicholas do as he brings it out through in past the offices. This is just a really long swooper. I love this section, you know, flicking in. You've so much momentum coming into this clip, transitioning back over into the roundabout. It's just so fast. I think it's going to be really exciting for Chase driving tomorrow.
Oh, definitely. It's quite an intimidating section, though, because it's very easy to make a mistake, and when you do, that wall just to the left before you come around the roundabout can either catch you out or you can end up too deep. So it's definitely an area where you need to be on your toes because of how much momentum there is. But I found the technique is to just try and get a bit of, like, I mean, I don't even left foot brake or handbrake into that. I try and dial it a bit.
Definitely. And I do believe Nicholas has topped the group here so far with an 83.7. But next up is Michael Trabb in definitely one of the most unique cars on the grid. It's a BMW E30 estate. Look at this thing. It's so cool coming around here.
That is. Oh, I didn't think I've seen this. No, is this the rotary powered E30? I think it is.
Too sure.
Ooh,
If I'm
kind
not
of
mistaken, he
different,
had a different livery at the start of the season. So
I
nice to
I
see
don't
some
think
new
I've
colours
ever
on there.
seen it with the livery, to be honest. I don't think I've got his livery, so that must be why. But very nice run from Michael, getting very aggressive towards that last section as you go into that inner clip before the last transition. He got very wide there, definitely trying to tease himself with that outside line, trying to get the
Yeah,
max
definitely.
points he can.
Obviously, drifting is pretty much risk reward, and yeah, look, Michael there definitely risking it, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be rewarded for it. We're going to have to see what the judges think. It's not actually looking too promising. It's a 45.3, so not too sure quite went wrong there. But yeah, I love to see it in a state. He would have gotten 100 from me if it is just based on style points. But next up is Vitaly in another BMW, but not quite in the state, unfortunately. So look, opting to go for the more modern chassis. So let's see, how will he do as we wait for those infamous light flashes to go. Here we go, Vitaly coming off the line. Nice flick, weight transfer initiation. Look at this. Really nice line here so far. Once again, smoothness is key around this track as he transitions over in through Danger Alley, as we transition back over GT Omega Alleys, we must say, as we come on through nice and wide past the offices. And here is the sketchy part, as you mentioned, Brendan. Just so much momentum, and look at this. That poor clip me sign there would be absolutely flying if there was collisions on it. So here we go. Not a bad run there from Vitaly.
Yes, definitely. IRT coming back into the season in round. They didn't. I don't think we saw any of the IRT drivers in round one, but it's nice to see them back for round
we
two.
did.
No, I don't. It's very strange, but they're back for round two, and they're kicking off very strong with a very good first run so far. And Vitaly is very well known for his aggressive style.
Definitely, it's a 78.3, so not bad there. Definitely some stuff he can work on into the second one. So next up will be Edward Husow. So we are back up again. We're moving thick and fast through these so far. So this is the public car. He's currently sitting on a 67.7. It wasn't perfect. There was some mistakes in there, you know, especially in the last corner. We did mention that he was, you know, he had a few corrections. He was washing out wide. So look, it's all about being comfortable, and especially when you're working off a public platform, you know, I'm not too sure what kind of a setup he has on this, but let's see how he can do coming through here. Not bad so far from Edward Hughes as he shortcuts the circuit, bringing it out and very shallow through there as he comes into the alley, transitioning back over. Let's see how he can do, washing out nice and wide past the offices and back over into the downhill momentum into the roundabout. Let's see, once again, doesn't wash as wide, but it's still not perfect. You see him there having to correct it by left foot brake just to wash it a little bit wider, and I do like it would catch up a chase driver, and it wasn't perfect, but I think it will be an improvement there for Edward Hughes.
Oh, for sure. Making those VDC public cars work hard with a 73.7, so a nice improvement there, and a much higher shots at getting into the top 32 as we have Brian going back over the line, flicking it into outside zone 2. As you can see here with our 33 screaming, just a bit of a check-up of angle there, just trying to make sure he gets onto the right line as he goes through outside zone 3, transitioning into outer clip 5. Into outer zone 6, I think that's what it is. I can't remember, my brain hasn't quite caught up with itself yet. As he transitions through into the horseshoe here, keeping it nice and wide, definitely putting on a lot more of a speedy run this time, so very nice job from Brian here into his second run.
Yeah, definitely. So it will be it mightn't be an improvement actually, looking at the way the scores are currently dropping in. Obviously that 38 isn't quite accurate yet. We are still waiting for Har to drop in his scores, or that is for Brian actually, sorry. So yeah, Brian in the R33, it's not an improvement, it's a 57.7. so look, I'm not too sure will that see him through to battle action tomorrow. Next up is Jaden in the S14, moving on from an R chassis back over to the trusty old S chassis. So look, I'm a big 14 connoisseur myself, so we'll be seeing how he does. Can he improve on that 75? Not the highest scoring group so far. The highest in this group so far from Nicholas is an 83.7.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but it looks like our semaphore, our lights, has somehow rolled into the greenery just to the left of the start line, as you can see there. I don't know if he's realised, but as we wait for Jaden's second run, I think we're just going to wait for the semaphore to get back there. I'm just going to go and notify him now, so I will be back.
Oh, he is gone. He is absolutely rocketing back over now. Come on, swing around, swing around.
Get yourself back into place, lad. So, yeah, so as you can see in the previous run, Brian definitely getting deducted for the bit of scattiness in that run. So smoothness is definitely a key here as Jaden initiates into outer clip 1, into outer zone 2, keeping it nice and light. Not light, keeping it nice and light so far into outside zone 3, keeping it nice and smooth. As you can see, the brake discs glowing there as he comes into the outside zone around the offices, keeping it nice and quick into the middle of the track, transitioning in and flicking around towards the horseshoe, keeping it nice and wide there. Doing a very good job of keeping it on the wide line, and a beautiful way to finish the run, almost over angling there. So
yeah, we're gonna have to see what way the judges think about that, but so far it's definitely an improvement as we just wait for RYZE once again. RYZE.
As always, I mean, we've got the Wild Monkeys drift team in the YouTube chat saying 1,000 horsepower, send up lights. Yep, you know, that's how we do it. We go big or go home.
81 there for Jaden, so definitely an improvement, and I'm sure he'll be happy with that one. Next up is Liam Scahill. You were just on about Wild Monkeys, so look, they're going to have to ignore the semaphore for a while now and bring it on to one of their own drivers in the Soarer. And like I was saying, such a cool car as we get a nice little view of one of the lovely buildings here at Driftland.
Did he reset into... We'll have to see how that gets treated. Oh.
I don't think he can call 5-minute route. We'll have to see.
Oh, something's... so potentially he could have been DQ'd for going back to pits, as you're not allowed to put fresh tyres on between runs. So we'll have to see how that's deemed from the judges.
Such a shame there, but yeah, I do believe he's been DQ'd there, judging by the 0. So next up is Nicholas, up in the other R33. Currently sitting on an 83.7. It's fairly safe at the moment. I'll just double check where that currently sits him. So that currently sits him in 6th place at the moment, so not bad whatsoever from Nicholas as he flicks it back in. Let's see, can he put on a show and potentially improve? A small little waver there into the first corner, unfortunately. Transitioning back over now into GT Omega Alley as we transition back over past the offices here, past Neil Dawson, who's once again having a coffee. We'll bring that one up again as we transition back over. Look at the amount of momentum. This layout is just so well tuned. I think it's just really exciting, and I just can't wait for battle action tomorrow. Like, the judges put a lot of thought into the layouts for SVDS, you know, even down to where the start line is positioned. So let's see. So far he's improving by the first judge, and he's equaling with RYZE. RYZE was nice and swift getting the score in that time, so we'll give him credit where it's due. So
my palms are starting to sweat. I'm just watching myself slowly get
and he does
further
improve by 0.3. So Nicholas improving by just 0.3 there. So look, we're not gonna. He's not gonna complain. It's still mid-80s, so not bad whatsoever. So next up will be Michael Trabb in probably the most stylish car on the grid, I'm gonna argue. Just such a cool looking car.
Definitely up your alley, ain't it? As you're a 36 owner, so.
Well, it's just one generation older, and I always do love myself a good estate. Do you know?
Oh yeah.
I really appreciate practicality in a drift car. I think it's the most important thing. Not being competitive or fast or anything at all, but like if you can fit the shopping for the week inside the back of it, like it's always a bonus.
Exactly. You don't need a support vehicle. You are the support vehicle.
You know, he might have his jack in the back there, probably compressor. You know, if it starts raining here at Virtual Driftland, he's going to be sorted because the full compressor's in the back. But here we go. Look at this real nice initiation, washing out wide with the left foot brake there from Michael Trabb. Transitioning back over now as, oh my god, it even has a sunroof. I just noticed that as we transition back over. Look at the angle here for Michael Trabb. Really exciting run here so far, as that car looks really quick. We were saying that it doesn't have to be competitive, but it looks very competitive at the moment, as that thing is an absolute weapon as he comes past the line here. And yeah, what a run there from Michael Trabb. Not a bad one at all, as he does a few little extra skids, smokes out Driftland here. As let's see, will he improve?
That is the question. Definitely put on an aggressive, a very, very aggressive run there. And a lot of pace as well. Like, it's hard to keep the angle and keeping a lot of pace, so credit's due where it's due as he gets a 73, so a very big improvement there. And hopefully we'll potentially see him in the top 32 later on, but we've got Vitelli up at the line in that. I want to say F22, but I don't know if it's an F22. I think it's a of some sort. But as he comes around this outside zone 3, keeping it nice and smooth into the transition around into the offices. It is a lovely, lovely looking car and a lovely looking run so far, with Vitelli coming into that last outside zone into the horseshoe here. As you can see, coming in nice and wide, making sure he doesn't go towards the grass there. I'm just a bit mesmerized watching this car, to be honest, with the way how smooth the IRT boys drive. So,
yeah, definitely. And like you were saying, it's really nice to see the IRT boys coming back. And oh, we do in fact have a Liam Skehill up to the line. So yeah, he does get a shot at qualifying there, which is always nice to see. The Wild Monkeys guys are a good bunch of lads, really nice team. And look, like I was saying, they're mad scientists. That's all I'm going to say. This is probably the most reserved car on the team. So here we go, Liam Skehill up off the line. Let's see how he can do. And yeah, look, currently with a 75.7 on the line. Not too sure will that see him through, so might have to improve. Obviously, no matter where you are, you could be first in qualifying after your first run with like a 99, but like you're still going to aim to get that 100. You know, it doesn't matter. You're always going to try and better your first run, and sometimes it works out, other times it doesn't, but that's drifting.
Oh yes, and Liam finishing up the run there with a decently strong run. Just a bit of wavering in a couple of little places, but it's not the easiest chassis to be thrown about there. And I'm not too sure what happened. He must have had an internet issue potentially, but as you can see, it has a 73, so not quite an improvement he's looking for, but consistent nevertheless, and a very good job from Liam there. So hopefully he's done his team proud, and potentially we'll have him in the top 32. But as you can see, that is the group scoring so far with Nicholas with an 84, Jaden with an 81, Liam with a 75.7, Edward with a 73.7, Michael Trabb with the 73 flat, and Brian with a 69.3. And unfortunately, Dominic and Johan could not make it with us today, so unfortunately they're going to have to sit back out and wait for the next round. And yeah, so far we're looking pretty strong.
Yeah, definitely some big scores dropping in here and there. Obviously, Kieran Bond is still unshaken there with his 91.3. Then Luis Sonata not far behind with an 88.7. Then Vitaly Izaev with an 87. Then Ernestus Yakubulis with an 86. Then Simon Sandman with no practice whatsoever with an 85.3 rounds out your top 5. So look, that is all subject to change. We do have some big drivers still yet to run. So yeah, look, really exciting times here at SVDS Round 2.
Oh yes, indeed. It's I'm starting to get nervous because I'm just watching my name go further and further through the positions as these people score higher and higher. So it's definitely a bit of a...
Currently sitting at 11, not too bad.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
You're mid-pack. Or are you?
almost mid-pack.
A little bit. Almost mid-pack, yeah.
We've still got quite a few drivers to go, but then how many groups we got? We got 2, we got 3, 4, 5. So I'd say 4 groups to go because one of them's only got 2 people in so far. But you never know. It's drifting, so we'll have to see how it all goes.
Yeah, look, next up is Axel Toplin in a lovely S14. I was admiring some shots of this car earlier on, and just, I love a Zenki. I always love a Zenki.
Oh,
you know,
yeah. It's got a beautiful style to it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Look, the whole aura of the car is just so cool, and definitely gives off some aggressive vibes for a Zenki, which normally isn't actually that aggressive of a car, really. Obviously, if you're looking for aggressive, you're going to buy a Kuki, but look, love for the Zenkis. That's all I'm going to say. Next up after this, by the way, will be the man who I am not jealous of whatsoever. Time zone wise, Brendan Stacey, I must actually talk to him and see what time it is for him once again. But Axel Toplin is up on the line. So I think RYZE is just out of the Group D channel, so we are ready to go.
Yep, so as we wait for him to light up the lights, but I think we're just waiting on the rest of the drivers to grid up as well. As you can see there, they're just getting ready behind Axel to get their share at the gauntlet. I really like this car. Axel's a good driver as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does with this layout compared to the bank, because there's two very different styles.
Like you said there, it's definitely a different driving style. A lot to react to. I think it's obviously every track you do requires a lot of commitment, but I suppose it's a bit easier to predict the predicament. Yeah, there we go. Predict the commitment needed for the track. Obviously, there's no infamous bump in this one, like there was in the bank. But look, I'm expecting a fairly good run from Axel. He very good driver. He has lovely flashy lights in front of that car. So yeah, look, waiting for that car to get off the line, and I do believe we are ready to send him.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Luke. That whole sentence you just had was a bit of a predicament in itself, weren't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
You think that predicament, could you? But as you can see here, Axel's hopping on the line as the lights go green in that beautiful S14 as we have the cameras. Here, I think the camera's on the wrong person.
Oh, lovely.
Yep, there we go. Thank you, Blackout, as we come into this second transition coming around to the outside offices. With that S14 absolutely smoking up the track with that D-Max livery, and I love that car. Coming in a bit wide there, possibly a bit too wide, but it's the first run, so he's got a chance to redeem himself in the next one if it does mark him down and finish.
Yeah, definitely. So much aggression. It was definitely full commitment, but I think that kind of caught him out a small little bit. I think there's a few bits he can improve on, but just waiting for that score to drop in as we have Brendan Stacey on the line, the Australian himself. And look, such a reserved guy, you know, when you're talking to him in the VCs and stuff, but look, put him driving a VDC 3.0 car and he's an absolute lunatic. So it's a 64 for Axel Toplin, just a few little mistakes catching him out, but overall just fully committed. So yeah, look, I'm excited to see what he can do in the second one.
Oh yes, Brendan's a very nice, very nice guy as well. Definitely one of the most upstanding drifters I've met so far. And That S13 is definitely treated him well as the lights go green with that big wang. Luke, let's go.
So here we go, the Aussie flicking it in here. Oh, just getting it all wrong there as he has a big correction coming into the first corner. So look, obviously this is going to be putting him on the back foot for the rest of the run, but he's not doing a bad job to try and regain himself a few little points. As look at this, the pace of that S13 is definitely visible as he transitions into the roundabout. Look at this now from Brendan Stacey. What could have been? I think that's all he can really say about that run.
Well, it's the case of what could have been, but what can I do next? So we'll have to see how it scores in the second run.
This is a big one coming up to the line. Look, if you've been watching Driftmasters, you would have heard about the Team Drift Games driver Connor Falvey. So look, he is up on the line next, ready to shred. So look, the Cork driver ready to go. I had to mention he's from Cork, by the way, best county in the world. So here we go. So look, Connor Falvey up onto the line after hard luck there in Driftmaster Spain, and not a bad old spin there in IDC round 2 Watergrass Hill. So look, Driftmaster spec driving here at SVDS, and here we go. The young man is off the line. Look at this now from Connor Falvey. Huge commitment already. As look, you can always expect pretty much perfection from Connor. And I do believe he's changed up the livery scheme a small little bit from his real life car as we bring it through. Look at this, fully committed all the way around. And yeah, look, really exciting run here so far from Connor Falvey as he just flirts with the edge of the track, taking out that cone. And look at this real nice driving there from Connor Falvey, the Driftmasters driver himself.
Very, very lovely work there. I did notice that myself, actually, when you mentioned that with the back half of the livery. I'm not too sure what's going on with that, but I'll definitely have to ask him what's going on with that. But
my favourite car in the grid. I haven't seen this until now.
Oh god, yeah. Big shout out to Connor for the running his DMET car in this with us. I'm a bit blown away, to be honest. I just love watching Connor drive. Amazing driver, amazing personality, and he's done a lot for me recently. So
yeah, definitely. Such a nice guy out of the car and an absolute lunatic inside it. I remember seeing Connor at his first IDC event, and straight away he was just on it. So look, we're going to have to see here. Not a score dropping in yet, but it is David Hunter in. I thought it was going to be Michael Trabb in the most stylish car, but I'm going to have to take that from him. David Hunter is driving an E36 Touring here. And could you get any more stylish here? Look at this from David Hunter. And look, pink. Oh, he just gets it all wrong though. It's look, he's definitely going for style points here as he does a little kickflip there. And potentially thought he was driving a Saloon E36, just a small bit longer in the estate. But yeah, look, unfortunately it's a 0, I think, for David Hunter, but such a cool looking car.
That is a very cool looking car. I did notice someone said in the chat that that is meant to be a blue E36, not purple. So from the looks of this, it could be a graphical glitch that we're having, because obviously Connor's car is meant to be blue at the back as well.
By the way, for Connor Falvey, it's an 82.7 on his first run. So look, if that's his banker run, I'm scared to see what he can do in the second one. But here we go. It is the first of our Carbon Drift Team Strom Wheels cars. So it is going to be Powell Lisowski up onto the line. Or sorry, David McKeever. I was getting it a little bit wrong. Sorry. So it's going to be David McKeever there up onto the line as. Never mind. Once again. So we're going to have to get a little bit of confirmation of which Carbon Drift Team driver is coming up the line.
Now it's Powell.
So here we go. We're swapping out the Beamers for the S chassis. So here we go. Powell up off the line. So here we go. That Carbon Drift Team S15 flicking it on in here. And yeah, if you haven't been living under a rock, you surely would have seen what these guys are doing. They're absolutely excellent. They're wizards at modelling and pretty much everything to do with making cars in this game. Sponsored by Sicky and Strom Wheels, and so far they're pretty good at driving them as well as making them. Look at this from Pavel, not doing a bad job. Wash is just a bit too wide though, dropping a wheel out there. I don't think it was too, so he will be keeping his score. And oh, big mistake there as he completely misses that zone. So look, a lot to work on that second one, but yeah, look, it's a shame to see because in the first half he looked really strong, but I think that first little mistake dropping the wheel out and I think kind of got in his head a little bit. We do have a man in the team with him to make it up a small little bit. David McKeever's on the line in another Carbon Drift team car, Brandon.
Yeah, so as you can see here, David McKeever initiating in with that F22 Eurofighter with those strong, I think the DS35s on the front. Or are they? I can't remember what wheels he's running on this. It looks like DS35s, but as he comes around into the office, not into the office, on the outside zone, around the office, don't mind me, as he comes into this last transition here, keeping it nice and wide, doing a very good job so far, as he does his team very proud at CDT with a good solid
definitely.
first run.
Nice banker lap. I will say one thing, he just seemed to throw on a little bit too much angle coming out of it. It just seemed like he's shallow, but out a little bit coming past the line, but not too bad. But we're back over again. But Brandon, you had a little word to say.
Yeah, so I had a bit of practice with Powell at, I think it was last night or the night before, and he should, if he's still using the same tune that I think he is, he should be running a similar setup to me. So we'll have to, I'm going to have a little chat with him and see how he found my setup and if he used it. But as you can see, Axel's hopping back on the start line with that S14. Very nice looking car as he initiates into, and a bit of a check up there, maybe coming up a bit too short. And he comes into outside zone 3, coming through with a nice big snappy in. Oh, that was a very smooth transition there, which was quite satisfying to watch. Axel doing a very good job in this run so far, keeping it nice and deep there, just flirting with the dirt as he transitions into the last section around the horseshoe, keeping it nice and wide. Definitely wants to try and put a better run on.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, he was on the back foot a little bit there with that mistake in the first corner, but I think he's going to improve a small little bit. We're going to have to see. But next up is the man, one of the nicest drivers in the grid, I'm going to have to argue. He's just so quiet, he's so reserved, but he is from Australia, so he's probably very tired. I wouldn't like to see him during his daytime, I suppose. So let's see, it's Brendan Stacey up on the line in that PS13 Sylvia. So look, Brendan, take it away.
Yes, so I used a PS13 myself last season. Couldn't get along with it, but Brendan seems to have taken the torch and carried on with it. And he seems to be very solid in this car compared to the S15 from last season. So it's nice to see him make the jump from a newer car to an older car. Same model, just different generation. And it's nice to see him being rewarded by it as we wait for his next run to be going through. I'm not too sure what the hold-up is, but so we're doing a quick little light check, I think, for Brendan here, as he is well known to be the one to have verbal countdowns. So get your CSP sorted, lads. As you can see, it's just having a nice bit of weight there as the lights go down, and he can see them, unless RYZE has said something to him, but as he initiates into outside clip 1 into outside zone 2, he is doing a good job so far, definitely cleaned it up a tiny bit. Bit of a moonwalk there into there, so you must have thought he wasn't deep enough as he transitions into the outside zone around the offices, keeping it nice and smooth. Very fast momentum coming through here, coming through this outside clip, transitioning into the horseshoe now, keeping it nice and wide, doing a very good job. As you can see, the internet of the land down under is definitely showing with a little bit of a nudge and spin. But
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very good job from Brendan there. I have a feeling this could be an improvement over his last run.
Always fully committed no matter what, and I think that's what you like to see from a driver. You know, it's what you want to see. Exciting runs, nothing to complain about really.
Exactly.
So let's see, he's definitely going to improve so far here as we just wait for RYZE to drop in his score. But next up on the line is the man himself, Connor Falvey. So yeah, look, the young man living the dream at the moment, I'd argue, just with it all to play for, you know, driving in Driftmasters, IDC, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, look, really good driver, and one of the nicest chaps you can meet in drifting, I'd argue.
Oh yes, he did a very, very good service to me recently with a kind of, so if you didn't watch the video of them on the Driftland Drift Games YouTube channel where they showcased them putting the wraps on the new cars, they did feature some sim footage, and luckily enough I was given the opportunity by Connor, Lucas and the team to feature some of my filming in that video, so I'm very grateful to them, and I wish the best for all of them, including Connor today.
Yeah, definitely. Look, Connor Falvey, he's a monster behind the wheel, and I think he's getting better pretty much every round out he's doing. And look, some hard luck there at Driftmasters. Obviously, the boys were having a lot of issues with gearboxes and all sorts. But anyway, certainly no gearbox issues here in Scotland. But anyway, here we go. It's Connor Falvey off the line. Look at this. Really smooth here so far from that Drift Games S15. And how cool is it, Brendan, just to say that, you know, there's a Drift Games car driving officially sanctioned by Drift Games Everton. And real nice job here so far from Connor Falvey as he flicks it on over. Look at the amount of momentum here as, look, real nice job from Connor Falvey. And look, he's always bound to be at least in the 80s somewhere. So, let's see, what will the score be there for Connor Falvey? Will he improve on that 82.7?
We'll have to see, won't we? It was definitely a big run compared to his first. He wanted to go a lot more flashy, more angle, more speed. Definitely putting on a show for us with that Drift Games S15, and I love the way that car looks. I love the way it drives. I've tried it out. It is awesome, and it is an 84. So I love the result he's got. So it's all good for Connor Falvey with finishing on an 84, keeping it nice and tidy in.
And a man there, unfortunately, that it isn't all good for at the moment. It's David Hunter in such a cool car, that touring E36 wagon, and it's just not working out here either. Currently sitting on a 0, and obviously he did do a kickflip there in the last run, and I think it's just not, he's not comfortable. He just seems to be struggling a small bit there in that E36. And just such a shame, you know, to see a driver struggling, especially, you know, he doesn't look comfortable. It's very flawed run. I think it's going to be 0-0, unfortunately here, Brendan.
Potentially, Luke. I thought, do you know what it is? I think he spoke to RYZE and said, "You want smoothness? Well, try and watch this," and just did the complete opposite, just to kind of spit in their face.
You know, I think he did get a score on the board with a 23.3, but I think it might be his. Well, another man sitting on a 0 actually is from Carbon Drift Team. It's Paul Lisowski. So look, he's going to have to pull out something special here. Which, look, all them Carbon Drift Team lads are very skilled at Assetto Corsa in general, whether it's making cars or driving them. So look, I'm sure he's going to pull out something here as we send him off the line. Brandon, let's see what he can do.
Oh yes, with that CDT S15 coming in with that lovely nice bit of angle there. Maybe a bit shallow on the outer zone to start with, but he brought it back in, transitioning in towards the office here now, keeping it nice and wide, keeping it smooth, just where he wants to be as he transitions into that outside clip, hitting it pretty much nail on the head with a very lovely nice bit of angle there, coming in towards the horseshoe, getting a bit dangerous there, but keeps it going nice and across the line.
Yeah, look, not bad there from Paul Lisowski. I think he just wanted to get a score on the board, but make sure to check out all the Carbon Drift Team boys on Gumroad and all the social media platforms. If you are looking to get a high quality replica of all your favourite drift cars, really, including the likes of James Dean, the new low-brain car, by the way, which Drift Games has recently acquired, is on Gumroad, which is a slightly different livery. But we have another Carbon Drift Team car up off the line. It's going to be David McKeever in the BMW chassis this time, flicking it on over into GT Omega Alley. And
I think he potentially just bogged there, which is very unfortunate. It's very unlike David McKeever as well. Generally, he's quite a consistent driver, so we'll have to see what happened there. But yeah, just very unlucky. But it's funny enough, David McKeever last season was actually driving the low-brain PS13. Speaking of which,
but yeah, looks really unfortunately
he is going out with style.
Look, he has that 60 or 76.7 to bank on, so hopefully that'll see him through. Always nice to see the Carbon Drift Team boys out on track, as I do believe we'll be moving on to Group B. Just going to get some confirmation on whether we're taking a break or not. So yeah, I do believe we're going to bring it over to a swift commercial break. So enjoy a word from our sponsors. There is your current sheet. As just waiting. There you go. Wait, swapping it over now. Oh, not. There's no scores. Everyone got 0. No one is good. Drifting. give
There
up.
we go.
There you go. So Vitaly Izaev with an 87, topping out the group. Then Brendan Stacey, the Aussie himself, with an 85.3. Then the Corkman, long distance there between our top 3, with an 84 for Conor Falvey. So yeah, there is your group results. We're going to take a small little commercial break, so stick with us.
GT Omega. Stay ahead of the game.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell 'em I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
GT Omega, stay ahead of the game.
And we are back. Legend has it, he tried getting rid of it, but it just came back. He can't get rid of it. It is a separate entity. It is alive at this point. It is the car up on the line once again from Omar Baghdadi, one of the Carbon Drift team drivers. And Brandon, I'm scared for my life right now because the car is currently on the line.
I love that car so much. I'm not even going to mention what.
And unlike last round, we do actually know what kind of a car it is, but Omar specifically requested we just label it as the car.
Yep, I've got to respect his requests. But no, as we have him going down the line, I just dropped my phone. As he comes into the outside zone 2, doing a very good job so far. Omar doing, as he's one of the owners of CDT himself, coming around as I'm untangling wires as we commentate, so this is not going well so far for me. Luke, how are you finding this run so far?
Well, I'm really enjoying it. The car's doing a really nice job here, flirting with the edge of the track there, and those strong wheels looking absolutely lovely underneath it as he washes all the way out there. And look, I think the judges will actually be scared into giving this guy a good run. It was quite a good run. I don't know, is it Omar or just, you know, the car driving itself? It's possessed at this stage, but it's a 75 for the first one. So yeah, not too bad there from Omar. Obviously really good driver, and once again, all those Carbon Drift team guys are just absolute lunatics at modelling and just making cars. They're really talented bunch of guys. And another really talented bunch of guys is the Wild Monkeys crew, and Dominic Bergman is off the line. And he is actually borrowing this car, sorry. So look, borrowing the E92 backed, and I think is it M4 M2?
Yeah, M4. It's just another weird little facelift car. It is a wicked car though. Like it drives really well. Now obviously you can see here Dominic doing a very good job so far. A lot more comfortable in this as I've seen him in anything so far. So a very good first run here from Dominic. We'll have to see how he does in the second run as well as we wait for his score in that Wild Monkeys donor car. That's what I'm just going to call it. That is just the Wild Monkeys donor car, and I don't care. Caden's is just going to be called the donor car too.
Yeah, definitely. And we have had two R33s in the grid, but this is our first R34. I'm not too sure how many R34s are on the grid, but Barna Pagasti is up on the line, and I absolutely love this car. It is so cool looking.
As if you didn't tune into round one, me and Barna were put against each other in the top 32, and unfortunately, it was for him. I did take the win, but it was a good battle. So I'm excited to see what he does in round two. And imagine if we get tied up again.
Obviously, after that horrible defeat to just such a terrible driver there in Brendan Carter, he's looking for a big result after this one. So. Look, obviously no hate to you, Brendan or Barna, both excellent drivers. But anyway, here we go. Look at this, that lovely R34. I just love the look of this car as we transition back over. And yeah, it looks really dialed as he is doing what the judges exactly said in briefing, keeping it nice and smooth. And look at this, real nice line here from Barna so far as he brings in. Look how quick it is as he transitions back in through to the roundabout, nice and wide once again, and look, textbook lead run.
Very, very nice with that V8 screaming. A lot of R34 purists are going to be hating that car for having a V8 in it, but apparently it's just not the day for RB power. But as you can see here, speaking of RBs, we have Cameron Mustard online with Barna getting a 72.7, so definitely room for improvement there. But Cameron Mustard, the Mustard man himself, not the Mustard man.
So now we finally fulfilled it. We've all the generations pretty much of the proper Skylines. We don't have any, Hakasukas or anything, or Ken Marys. But look, we've 32, 33, and 34. But let's see, what can Cameron Mustard do? Well, obviously a lot. Look at that initiation. Full commitment as always, and look, such a legendary car in the UK and European drift scene, really. And Cameron piloting there in the virtual world, doing it there in SVDS, and look, just always an excellent driver. He's such a machine behind the wheel, and yeah, look, it's just typical Cameron Mustard, really, just bang on run.
Yep, definitely. I mean, all it took was for Cameron Mustard to come onto the screen and I started having a mental breakdown, apparently, so... doing a very good job there with his first run, just doing what he does best, and we're just waiting on that final score. And let me guess, is it RYZE?
Yeah,
it's RYZE. 83.7, so RYZE,
yeah, not bad at all. So a lot of mid-80s runs here so far, so that currently slots him into 10th position, just behind Conor Falvey. So yeah, look, not a bad day at the office for a lot of these guys so far, and the way it's going, a lot of these guys are getting mid-80s. I do believe we still only have one 90-point run, and it was actually from our first driver of the night. So yeah, look, he set the pace, and no one's actually been able to keep up with it so far. But next up is Nickel in another BMW. Look, it seems to be all Nissans and BMWs. We're very predictable here. So Brandon, yeah, not a bad run here so far.
Yes, definitely with that F22. Ooh, looking like he almost something hit him from the back, as he must have just had a bit too much forward bite there coming into the outside zone around the offices, as he transitions into the last man G, flicking it in, keeping it nice and wide. So doing definitely a solid line so far. But
I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but I do think that was the looming ghost of the car, the setting up and just messing up his competitors. Not Omer, he's the nicest guy you could talk to, but he wouldn't do it like that. But the car, you don't know, it's very unpredictable. As I do believe we've no Jason Cave, I don't think. So next up will be Vadim Abramov, because if I'm not mistaken, Jason Cave is the more controversial Wild Monkeys member, with a certain car laps front.
Oh yes, so we have Vadim coming in with that big BMW with the big wing at the back. Very, very GT3-esque, if I do say so myself, as he goes into outer zone 3, keeping it nice and wide, transitioning around, coming around that outside line now, keeping it very smooth. Very good run so far. He transitions around, snapping it back, coming around the outside. Very, very nice run so far, keeping it like the angle's very smooth. So this could be a good score for Vadim here.
Yeah, definitely. Nice run here so far. So we're going to have to see. Oh, and this could be a big one.
This has
Let's
got
see.
a lot of potential.
So it's an 87.3. Not bad whatsoever for his first run. I call that a rather good banker lap. So that currently sits him in 3rd place. So look, good day at the office. And oh my god, it's back up off the line. It is the car, Omar Baghdadi. And here we go from that CDT, Strom Wheels, Dicky Racing. Car looking absolutely awesome. So look, Omer doing a real nice job. Once again, these guys are just as good at driving them as they are making them. And look at this, the car has some amount of pace there. It is running off of spells at this point. It is definitely some witchcraft going on here. So if you are curious about the car, it is a Sherry A516, I think, if I'm rightly sure. Not too common for the Western market. I think it's a Chinese car, so
Very, very cool car though. It's probably one of the most detailed models in the series, to be honest.
a lot of passion went into that car, that's for sure. But it's a 78.3 there for Omer, so not bad whatsoever.
Definitely
So
a good
we'll
run
have
there.
to see what way that works out. So next up will be Dominic Bergman in the borrowed car, up on the line, the burger man himself. So Brandon, let's see what he can do.
So as you can see here, we have the Wild Monkeys donor car coming in. Very nice so far. Bit of a check up there to try and make it flow back into the zone as he transitions into our zone 3, doing a very good job now as he comes around towards the officers, keeping it nice and smooth. Keeping it nice and wide line there, as I've just been informed by Wild Monkeys YouTube account in the comments. That is an updated M3, Brandon. G90 fronts on an E92. So there you go. That is what that car is as he comes across the line. But it is, to me, always going to be now called the donor car. You can't tell me otherwise, because it had a front bumper donated to it from a different car. So, joke's on you as he gets a 77.7. Very nice job there from Dominic with a nice bit of progression.
Yeah, definitely. Next up on the line is Barna in that lovely R34. And by the way, guys, I was just looking there at the qualifying result sheet, and we are getting very close to having 32 drivers. So soon enough, you'll start to hear us talking about drop zones and who's at the bottom of it, which is always the worst place to be.
Oh, this is a scary point because I am now officially, well, not quite officially, but I am in the middle of the pack as Barna Pakowski, sorry, I'm so sorry I butchered your name, bro, comes in with that beautiful R34 GTR that has got a big wang on the back, so I rate it massively as he transitions into this outside zone, coming around the offices, keeping it nice and smooth. This is definitely a nice car to drive. It is very, very, very smooth as he comes around into that outside zone now on the horseshoe, finishing up the run nice and strong as he comes across the line. Beautiful, beautiful work. Barna definitely can do. Not too sure what's happening here. It seems like Luke is having some issues with this microphone potentially. So
Hello, 1, 2.
Oh,
Hello.
we can hear you.
There we go.
Barna with a 92. Absolutely
So-
throwing down a belt of a run.
So there you go. He is taking the top spot there from Kieran Bond. It was our second 90s run of the night. So let's see, what can Cameron Mustard do to answer that? And look, if there's any driver to do it, it's definitely Cameron Mustard. And look at this big angle all the way through while keeping it smooth. And yeah, look, Cameron Mustard, just an absolute insane driver here at SVDS.
Yeah, Cameron's been a local since the start, as well as me, so Cameron's definitely, he's knows the ins and out of Driftland, and he's seen every iteration so far, and it definitely goes to show with this run, as it comes across the line, just a textbook run, and I mean, it's starting off with it's already 59, and that's only 2 scores in, so this could be another very high score, potentially.
And some 89.3. So that slots him into 3rd place. So just shy of the 90s, but look. And look, once again, absolute excellence there from Cameron Mustard. So let's see, this is the man that had a very strange issue there earlier on his last run. So let's see what can Nickel do in that BMW. Just really nice simple livery on this, actually. The 80 parts BMW. So yeah, look, I love the kind of black and white monotone aesthetic of it. So yeah, doing a real nice job coming on in through to the roundabout. So let's see, on big angle, washing out nice and wide, collecting that final outer zone. And yeah, look, he looks a lot more comfortable there than in his previous run.
Like something came and just gave him a little nudge in the first run, so
Once again, I'm currently blaming the car.
oh, we had a 260 there, so Jesus, the judges are definitely over
Getting really generous now.
But it looks like it wasn't an improvement, unfortunately. He has 73.7. So we'll have to see how that fares later on.
So next up is Vadim Abramov up off the line. Let's see, what can he do? Flicking in. Look at this, some big angle thrown in there. A small little waver, gets him in, but so far not so bad as we come on through into GT Omega Alley. Flicking on over in past the offices. Neil Dawson is waving at him currently with his coffee as per usual. He's been standing there since round 1. You know, he's just been so excited for SVDS round 2. So here we go. Look at this from Vadim. Real nice job. So yeah,
Very nice. Speaking of Neil Dawson, if I'm honest, I think he's been on this track. I think he's been stood there since this first season. So I think he's frozen place over the winter period, to be honest.
Well, like, definitely it is very notoriously cold as Vadim Abramov drops in with an 88.7. Really respectable run there from Vadim. And so that currently sits him in 4th place, or joint 4th place with Luis Sonata. So that is your group results there. Barna topping qualifying and topping the group sheet there with a banger of a 92-point run. So look, things are starting to heat up here at SVDS round 2. And yeah, look, really excited. A nice group there coming up next with some real nice drivers. So look, we'll see you then. We're going to take a short little break.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell 'em I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
GT Omega, stay ahead of the game.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell 'em I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
And you are very welcome back to SVDS Round 2. Next up on the line is the most agri-spec car on the line. It's that lovely Omega. Brendan, I'm excited for this one.
Oh yes, the Vauxhall Omega, definitely a interesting car. You never see them in drifting, especially competitively. So he's going old school with this car. Nicholas Bond, definitely putting in an interesting style here.
It's
As
so
it is a
stylish. I just
replica.
love the
It's-
look of it.
It's actually a replica of his real car, and it is currently stored at Driftland as well, which is pretty cool. So if you're ever up there, you might see this car driving about as he flicks in with a very long back end. So you think you just tapped the wall there. Fortunately, as he comes into outside zone 3, keeping it nice now. Definitely got a bit of mistakes to correct here with a big bit of angle there. Jesus Christ, the Omega going big. As he comes around into the last section, not tapping the wall there. There's a very large risk with that car, has a very long chassis as he comes over the line. Not the easiest car to maneuver. It's almost as bad as the
Definitely.
the Sora.
I would
Yeah.
say it kind of gives IS200 Altezza vibes. And we went from the biggest car in the grid to the smallest car in the grid. A good buddy of mine there, Kenneth Casey, on the line
Yes.
in the Mazda MX-5. Kenneth is my cameraman IRL, so look, I'm expecting he'll get some good shots of his car this time, virtually. So, yeah, look, really good photographer, and I haven't seen much of his driving on AC, so let's see. Oh, no, gets it all wrong at initiation, so really unfortunate there for Kenneth Casey. And I did get a little drive in this car, and it's definitely not the easiest car to pilot around. Of the Zen Media sponsored car there. So, look, really unfortunate there, Euro for Ken Casey. Look, we'll see him with all to play for in the second run. Next up is Anders Kleinsberg in the lovely Racing Team Riga E92 Eurofighter. So I think it's very fitting to be driving a Eurofighter and be labelled Racing Team Riga.
Oh yes, definitely. Unfortunately from Kenneth there, that MX-5 is very much a challenge to drive, as you have the RT Riga E92 Eurofighter coming through with a bit of a waver there, trying to put it back into the zone as he transitions into out zone 3 here, keeping it nice and clean. Transitioning round to the offices as he goes past Neil Dawson with a nice bit of a smile and wave. Transitioning now into the last final transition. Keeping it nice and wide there, doing a very good job of keeping it on that line. Very smooth through there, just with a little bit of angle wavering, but overall, good solid
definitely.
work.
I will say into the first corner there, he did lock up the front brakes quite severely there, but it didn't seem to mark him down too much. So it is a 57 already with one more score to go in. And oh, we have a big shake-up. Mark O'Rourke, the previous round winner, is not here. So that is a rather big shake-up here. So it is an 85 there, by the way, for Anders. So look, real nice run for the Racing Team Riga driver, and very controversial car in the grid here. It is indeed an E46 compact. So we went from very long BMWs to very short ones now.
Yep, but this is the most on-brand car for Driftland you will ever see, as these are probably the most common things you'll see driving around bashing doors. So it's very nice to see the first compact in the series make its first appearance, as he comes around into that last outside section here. Doing a very good job there, but slightly dropping tyres, unfortunately. In that, it looks like Janemba from Lilo and Stitch almost. That's what the front end of the 46 compact reminds me of.
Getting very specific there now.
Yeah, but it's just what I think that was a 46 from the looks of it. As we have,
It is Michael.
I don't know how to say this last name, to be honest.
Piotrowski. There you go.
Yeah,
So
I'll
look,
let you
doing
do
a
that.
nice run here so far. I think, is this in a Scudo car?
Yes, it is.
It is indeed. So a Scudo car coming through. Michael doing a real nice job here so far, flirting with the edge of the track, and nice flame shooting out from a side exit exhaust, which is always cool to see. You know, bring back the old 80s rally vibes there from the likes of your Sierra Cosworths and stuff, which, yeah, there you go. You have your niche pop culture reference. I have some really niche motorsport references. As we do have another IRT car up onto the line, so I do believe this will be Daniel.
Daniel Andreev has returned.
Always nice to see an IRT car back on the grid. So let's see how he can do here, flicking it on into that first corner. Once again, a bit of a lock-up, nothing major. It doesn't seem to be affecting him too much as he washes out real nice to those outside zones. Back over past the offices here on Max Attack. Really nice colour scheme there. I just love the look of these cars as they do a big flick over. Look at this. That poor clipping point sign is getting absolutely battered here today. Like I said, if there was collisions on it, it would be absolutely gone into the stratosphere by now. But yeah, real nice run there from Daniel Andreev.
Yes, indeed. Daniel, a very talented driver and a very young one at that. So massive, massive props to him. And it's nice to see him back in the series.
And I do believe this is our only Corolla on the grid. So yeah, look, obviously, kind of car you'd see in the likes of FD in the States with Ryan Shurik and stuff. Not too common here on this side of the planet, you know, in Scotland and broader Europe. But always nice to see that Moser Racing. Oh, and just getting that all wrong there. So,
I do want to clarify, Daniel Andreev did get an 87, so a very good score there for his first run. Unfortunately, Jordan's just overshooting it there in the Corolla. Hopefully the second run he can bring it back, but obviously he's going to make sure he's paid his entry. He wants to make the most of his runs, so he's going to get a bit of practice in here, get the feel for the car, see what's going on, and then finish it off and get back around to the back of the queue and get ready for his second.
yeah, definitely. Very different car here compared to a lot of the rest of them, as we will be bringing it all the way back up now, up to the Omega, up off the line. So here we go. It is going to be Nicholas Bond here, currently sitting on a 71.7. Not had the best luck there last round, you know, had a few little issues with this car, so hopefully sorting it out. A small bit shallow there, not using the back end of that big Omega there as we wash out wide, and he's definitely using the back of it here now as we wash out nice and wide, transitioning. Oh, back over now, right past that outer zone, back over again into our final section of the track. And yeah, doing a real nice job here so far, Brendan.
Yes, Bondi doing a very, very, very nice job there in that very, very, very long car, as he's a Driftland local and he's driven that car on the track quite a few times, so it's nice to see it being brought back into the sim, as I did see that in Series 2 and it was such a cool car to see, and I'm glad he's brought it back, so we'll have
Definitely. A few little flashes of the headlights here of our only MX-5 on the grid. So look, really short wheelbase. Currently sitting on a 0 after flirting with the wall. It's Kenneth Casey on the line here. Really nice guy, good friend of mine, and a really...
So we are getting news that we're just having the judges just checking over Bondi's second run here to see if he initiated in the correct time, so it will be a bit of a wait.
Yeah, definitely. Just putting the right amount of pressure on Ken there. Just, you know, make him sit in the line. I'd say just let him sit there. You know, It's always nice to see a mate there under pressure. But anyway, by the way, on the driver list, he's currently sat at 43, which I think is quite ironic, considering my race number is 443 and he's my cameraman. So look, all sorts of coincidences here. So make sure to check him out under Zen Media. The guy's really talented with the camera, and hopefully he can sort it out here for his second qualifying run here at round 2 of SCDS.
Oh yes, I mean I'm totally not biased because he has an MX-5, but I love that car. I own a Mark II or an MB MX-5 myself IRL, so
Oh, and by the way, this is actually 4-rotor powered as well, so it's just really cool.
nah, rotary MX-5s are probably the coolest ones out there, but just you wait. So Bondi is going to get a 0 on his second run. Unfortunately, it looks like he could not initiate in time, which is very unfortunate, but it's just how it is. But as we have here, the 4-rotor. Was it 4-rotor? Did you say it was a 4-rotor?
I think he was talking to me before saying it was a 4-rotor.
It's got rotors. That's what we know. Not the wheels, but the things inside the engine. As he's on the line waiting, it looks like the semaphores started to creep through the cones again. So hopefully Kenneth can see that.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say, you know, rotaries are kind of like the 2-stroke of the car world, and you can see that just like a 2-stroke motorbike, there's a nice amount of smoke coming from his exhaust there, which is a hood exit, which, look, technically he's currently sitting on a 0. Style-wise, I think he's getting 100. You know, he's driving an NAMX5, it has a 4-rotor, it has a hood exit. What more could you want? Now, granted, in real life, the hood exit is probably mandatory, because I don't know how much travel he has to loop an exhaust back to the back of the car, but let's see.
I mean, just you wait. I'm planning to do an MB build in Assetto myself, so I'm going to try and compete with him in the MX-5 seed.
So yeah, obviously, one thing about him from drifting with in real life anyway, they're quite a snappy car. They're not the easiest car to drive in the world, and I know from driving this one, it is not the easiest car to drive in the world, but look, I think big props to Kenneth for going out there and driving a car which he enjoys as much as anything. You know, a lot of these guys choosing what they find competitive or whatever, but a lot of time you just have to go with your heart, not your brain. As we have lost Brandon, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. So just waiting on the line. I'm not too sure what the judges are going over, but look, these guys are very meticulous. Brandon, I think you have a few words from the judges?
Yeah, so we're just waiting to get him down the line there. We're just getting the semaphore back in place, and it looks like Kenneth Casey is ready to go as he comes down the line here. Come on, Luke, let's go.
So let's see, very tentative initiation there and just not getting it correct, yeah. Just really struggling with that car at the moment, unfortunately, and I think it's going to be another 0 for Ken. So, look, real nice guy. It's just so unfortunate it's not working out, but that MX-5 definitely looks like a handful to drive.
It's unfortunate, but as you can see, it's a very short chassis. Oh, and taking it out of the wall. So, not only is it a short chassis, but it's now twisted. So that
yeah,
will be the end of his weekend, unfortunately.
Look, always nice to see just all the competitors out here just making this the championship that it is, whether they get a 100-point run or they 0 or whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, they put on a show for us and they're enjoying themselves, which I think is the main thing. So, look, I'm sure he would have gotten a bit of practice and stuff, but yeah, super hard-working guys, Kenneth, and I do believe next up on the line will be Anders Kleinsberg.
From the looks of it, yeah. Oh, we have Brian Parker at the line, apparently. But
Look,
I think they've got
he's
it.
in a compact. I think he's just thinking, listen, I'm in a compact. I'm the king of Driftland here. You know, I surpass everyone.
It's just trying to figure. I think we're just trying to see what. It feels like a nature documentary watching these BMWs, you know, like.
Yeah, definitely, they're their natural habitat.
It's just like I'm just expecting David Attenborough to come through and just be like, well, here's the local E46 compact waiting at the start line at Driftland. And
I will say, big props to Ryan Parker for putting the normal E46 front end because, well, E46 compacts aren't the prettiest thing in the world front end wise, but.
Oh, I think Andreas is coming up. He's like, yeah, bro, I think it's my turn.
We're going to have a small boxing match here up on the line, so I will be taking money for pay-per-view. Just don't mind that they're very politely moving out of the way, but like I'm going to advertise a big fight here, so if you would like to just pay for pay-per-view, just, you know, anything is appreciated. This is Anders Kleinsberg wasting no time at all in that racing team rig, and look at that initiation. Fully committed, as always, and look, he's definitely flirting with the edge of what's a backwards entry, but let's see. Not doing so bad here is Andres. as he washes out nice and wide. And Brendan, I know you're very good friends with all these Racing Team Riga guys, and look, they're really good drivers, but
Oh yes, well, Racing Team Riga always putting on a show for everyone as Andrews comes across the line with a very solid run. They have recently gave me the opportunity to commentate for their own series as well, which is the Drifting Garage Riga. So it's been a very good time working with these guys, and I appreciate everything they do. And it's nice to see them come over to here to throw down with us. So we're just waiting on the score for Andrews here. Very solid run, but it's an 81.7, so it wasn't actually an improvement. So I mean, if from the looks of this, it looks like he's going to be qualifying. So congratulations to Andrews there for a really good performance. As we have Ryan Parker in that E46 Bug-Eye compact as he comes across the line here, Luke.
yeah, definitely one of the most eager guys to get off the line, but he wasn't so eager there on initiation, unfortunately. So I do believe that will be his year. He's going to have to resort back to that 68.3. So look, it's just checking over the sheet. He is actually currently on the drop zone. So I think unfortunately that will be the end of his weekend.
Potentially, you never know. You never know.
Unless some voodoo stuff starts playing out here.
You
There will,
don't count your chickens until they hatched. And apparently, so we've got Wild Monkeys commenting, and apparently that is his daily as well. So it's a replica of his daily car that he takes to Driftland.
So next
Yeah.
round I will be campaigning the Renault Traffic van. So
As you can see here, we have the Escuco Michael car coming in. I don't know why I said Escuco Michael car. It's Michael's Escuco car. and he's-
Escudo.
Escudo? I think my other job's coming in a bit too much now in my brain.
Escudo, sorry, you are actually correct. I was the one wrong, sorry. But yeah, not doing a bad job, Michael. 69 on the first run. There's a few small little mistakes, but look, I think he's definitely tidying himself up here in this one. So we're going to have to see what score drops in from here. Not bad whatsoever. And look, always nice to see. Oh, this could be a big one. As that's, let's see, it's an 87 there for Michael. So I'm going to have to check now where that drops him in. That currently sits him into 7th position there. So not bad whatsoever. So here we go. Daniel Andreev off the line here in that IRT BMW 1 Series. Definitely an uncommon chassis here, Brendan.
Well, it's as uncommon as, well, the BMW Nest VDS, to be honest. As he comes around in towards the front of the offices, a very experienced driver here in competitions, showing off that he has got the minerals to be doing what he does. He is a very talented driver as he comes around into this last outside zone. Keeping it nice and wide, keeping it smooth, doing a textbook run. This is just textbook Daniel Andreev as he finishes and comes across the line.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, our only Corolla on the grid now. As if I'm fairly correct, I've not been checking up on FD, but I'm fairly sure that that Ryan Shirk is currently running at the moment in the Corolla. You know, so the runs are lining up quite well.
Daniel Andreev with a 91.
So there you go, our third 90-point run of the night. It sits him into 3rd position. Kieran Bond just pipping him there by 0.3 on the score. So look, big run there for Daniel. I'm not too sure, Brendan. I don't know if that'll see him through.
Oh,
The Sempo gone on holidays again.
Rookies again. I think the semaphore wants to go back to round 1 and have a go at the bank. From the looks of this.
If someone can please get some ratchet straps and we will tie that semaphore down.
Put it in a restraint jacket. Semaphore restraint jacket.
I do believe there was a verbal start there as we await there. Jordan Riley coming off the line in that Corolla and just getting it all wrong once again. Really unfortunate.
Very unlucky, but welcome to drifting. It is the strangest thing.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you've good days and bad days, and unfortunately, I think this was one where it didn't work out for Jordan. Really cool looking car, though. I will have to say that livery is on point. So I do believe that is the end of the group. So look, there is your group results, and I don't think that is fully accurate. We did get an old 90-point run in there. I do remember that. So Once that is updated a small bit, we will be heading over to a small commercial break as we're getting there. Hold on. As by the way, big shout out there to Blackout, who's just absolutely carrying the stream here so far. And Owen Magner did not get a 0, by the way. That is just because he hasn't ran yet. But Daniel Andreev putting himself there into 3rd position there with a 91, absolute banger of a run. So look, we're going to take a short little break, so bear with us.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
GT Omega, stay ahead of the game.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell 'em I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
GT Omega, stay ahead of the game.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell them I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
GT Omega. Stay ahead of the game.
And you are very welcome back. We're nearing the end. We're not quite there yet. We just have a few small little groups to get through. But I do believe this is the second last group on the line. And first up is an Irish boy himself, Jake Davey. So I did actually drive against Jake very recently in the Irish Drift Championship. Very good driver. And yeah, I think he's kind of a part of the new kind of family, I suppose, a big drift family of the Davies. His brother and his dad both driving. But anyway, here we go. He's in a public car, not opting to choose a private car at all as he transitions back over there. Doing a real nice job, Jake Davies, as he comes in through GT Omega Alley, washing out nice and wide. So let's see here. Choosing the purple one's car, matching the real one. He does have one generation older though in the S14, which I think is the better one personally. But anyway, we're bringing it through to the round. But really quick run here so far, Brendan.
See, it's actually blue.
Oh yeah, sorry, it is blue. Sorry, I forgot. There's a few little.
Blue,
There's a few little.
blue, purple is the new blue.
So there you go, and I do believe this is going to be a nice run dropping in. Oh, but the boy's getting way ahead.
They've done 2 runs in one, apparently.
So it's an 80.7 there for Jake Davey. Not bad whatsoever for his first run. Next up is Aaron Heyman, I think. Is it? No, it's Jesse. So it's Jesse DeSantos up on the line in another S chassis, I believe. So
Yes,
look,
it is.
Brandon.
I think it's a 15 from my memory in practice, and it is a very cool looking 15. It's very Jap style.
Yeah, definitely. Look, 2 S15s here so far, and look really nice. I think, is that a Urus GT kit, if I'm not mistaken?
I think
I'll
it is.
see how well in I am in my kits. Anna has underglow, which is flashing on and off there. So look, all the style points here so far, but can he get points on the board here on the run as we transition in through to the fastest section of the track? So much momentum there, by the way, as we go past that very meticulously placed fire extinguisher as we come in through. And yeah, nice run once again from Jesse DeSantos.
Yes, indeed, with that beautiful, beautiful S15. Putting on a good show. Very aggressive run as well. There was a lot of pace going through that last section, so it's going to be interesting how the judges deem this, and it looks like it's a 15.3 and it's a 75.3. So solid run, definitely some room to improve, but it puts the score on the board, and I'm pretty sure that makes him qualify as well. So
yeah,
very nice performance.
Definitely. Look, I'm not too sure what the cutoff is at the moment. It's currently 69.3, but we are off the line here with Anthony Taylor flicking it on in the E92 BMW, not opting to go with the E90 or the Eurofighter kit for once, Brendan.
Yes, so Anthony Taylor, the American hero himself, with that beautiful E92, doing a very good job so far. He is a weapon of a driver. Took me out in the mini comp last round, so got a bit of unfinished business with this guy, but he is a very talented man. He has done very well in the past 2 seasons, and as he comes across the line, he puts a very good first run down.
Yeah, definitely. What I noticed there is just the absolute pace there of Anthony Taylor. It's definitely unshakable as we just await for that score to drop on in. And it's going to be a big one, I'd say, as we wait. And it is an 84.3. Now, speaking of talent up on the line, it's Owen Magner, the young man from Castletown Roach or Killavullen, and he said he's on the border. You know, I'd say he could just walk like a minute down the road and he'd be in either or. But yeah, Owen Magner there, very good buddy of mine, and just absolute talent all around, driving in the Irish Drift Championship with a very nice Cell80 at the moment. Just with the sauciest SR20 you've ever seen. But he's not driving an SR car, nor is he driving an S chassis at all. He's borrowing the car once again, like last round, from his buddy Mark O'Rourke. So here we go. Let's see what the young gun from Killavullen can do as he flicks it on in. Look at this, Ramon Magner doing a real nice job. Transitioning back over now in through GT Omega Alley on big angle. Look at this from Owen Magner. He looks absolutely dialed in that Toyota Supra, obviously placing third last round. Doing a real nice job coming on through in just before the roundabout on big angle. Look at this from Owen Magner, fully committed. And look, I think we're in for a big one here so far, Brendan.
Oh yes, Owen Magner always putting on a show with the talent behind his belt. He is on one, and he's very, very adjusted into that Supra, to be honest. He's enjoying Mark's Supra a lot. So, yeah, I mean, so far it's looking very good with an 87.7, so very well done for his first run on that first one. As we have Tala, which is another CDT boy, as the owner Omar is saying he's got the nerves at the cones, but he comes in to the initiation in outside zone 2, transitioning into outside zone 3, doing a very good job so far, keeping it nice and clean and wide as he transitions in towards the offices, coming nice and wide. Could have been a bit deeper there, I think, as he comes into the long fast section, transitioning into the final area, into the horseshoe, doing a very good job at keeping it on that line but not too deep, and across the line he goes. So a very nice first run from Tyler there, as
yeah, definitely. And
team cheers him on, and he got, go on Luke, I'll let you say it,
he got a 77. I was bulling for that one. So I do believe this is Robert Camazzoni now up onto the line in a GR86. Surprisingly, actually, not too common of a car here so far, which I love them. I just love the look of them. You know, they took a bit to grow on me, but I really like how they turned out now. And yeah, look, he's making this car move and get it where it's supposed to be. So nice job here so far. He could have been a tad bit deeper there, only in through GT Omega Alley. But look at this, no problem with coming too wide here, as he gets all the way out there now in through to that fast section, in over to the roundabout. Look at the speed of that GR86 as he transitions back over. I think it's definitely the most fully committed, this high excitement section of the track, and it's just really entertaining to watch.
Indeed. Well, it's Mr. Domogato, Mr. Roberto, coming in with a lovely run in that GR86. I hope you got the reference I just made there, Luke.
That one flew over me a small bit, but it's a 74 there on the run. So we're gonna swap it back up to the start of the group with Jake Davey, another young gun from Ireland. So let's see. Obviously, his father is the owner of Carrick Karting. So if you're up that area in Ireland, so make sure to give a run in. Really nice karting place inside there. They do run drift competitions inside there later in the year. But let's see, what can Jake do now? Do a real nice job. Look at this. Washing out nice and wide in the public car, by the way. So look, no custom stuff going on right at all. Just keeping it nice and simple as we transition back over now in through that fast section, transitioning over. Real late transition there for Jake Davey, which gets him on a real nice arc. Look at this, nice and wide past the line. Yeah, not a bad run there from Jake Davey.
Indeed, Jake Davey putting on the show that he wanted to put on. This isn't SVDS, this is the Jake Davey show. He's putting on an amazing performance today in his second qualifying of the season. So far, they're just trying to get the score into that little box, as you can see.
And he does improve, it's a 76.
Yep, that's unfortunate, but he's still in the show. He is still in the show, so
yeah, definitely.
He can prove to the big boys that I don't need the tools.
Judges aren't very excitable people, you know. They're very tuned in, you know. They don't get excited over much things at all. So they're definitely the more technical guys out of all of us. We're just trying to put on a bit of a show here, as well as the drivers. And look, we're just having fun of it and trying to make some sense of it all, while the boys in the judges box are They're the ones putting in the real work. Small little waver there from Jesse, but so far not a bad run as he comes in into that roundabout. Small lock up there onto the front brakes. Nothing major though, just getting himself set up and throws on big angle across the line.
Very nice work so far. Jesse definitely putting that S15 to work with the aggression of the kit and the aggression of the driving. So we're going to see how that lands up with RYZE once again being the last to get that score in for Jesse DeSantos. Come on, RYZE.
You know what?
You can do it. There we go. And he's got a 73, so not as much of an improvement as we were hoping, but
We've been complaining about him the whole time, but in fairness, RYZE maybe just going over it that little bit more, making sure he's happy with his score. But next up is Anthony Taylor in that beautiful E92 Eurofighter, and he's making that thing work. Obviously, Brandon, you have a bit of unfinished business with him after he beat you in a mini comp. So look, you know, some of us aren't actually. We don't hold grudges, but if you want to hold grudges, be my guest. Like,
nah, it's not so much of a grudge. It's just a bit of friendly competition. I definitely want to try and prove myself because Anthony is definitely a driver I've been looking up to in the past 2 seasons. So it'd be nice to try and overcome that kind of talent.
yeah, definitely. And by the way, guys, if you are curious about some of the prizes on the line, obviously one of our main sponsors here in GT Omega is offering just such a huge prize there for the winner of an ART cockpit, which is just so amazing. You know, big thanks to the guys at GT Omega, and in second place they are giving away one of their top prizes in a lovely seat. But next up is Owen Wagner off the line in that borrowed Toyota Supra. He's putting on a show here, smoking out Driftland. I do believe he has a small bit of experience driving Driftland in real life, but look, he's been here in SVDS, always shaking things up. Currently sitting third in the championship, so obviously some big hopefuls after his technically teammate now isn't able to make it there in Mark O'Rourke. So look, let's see Owen Wagner doing a real nice job here in the latter half of this run. So look, Owen Wagner, an extreme talent there, and look, a little donut and burnout across the line. Owen Wagner, always a nice showman there. And Brandon, next up is the GR86.
So we have Tala sat in that CDT GR86 as we're just waiting for Owen's score. And we're just on the last one now. Come on, RYZE. Oh, and it looks like we're sending him through anyway. So we have Tyler coming into out zone 2. Straight after through clip 1, he came with a lot of pace in that GR86 as he goes into out zone 3, transitioning now from clip 4 into clip 5. Into out zone 6, doing a very nice job so far, keeping it smooth. That GR86 is on a crazy run with a nice bit of bigger angle there before he transitions into the final outer zone on that horseshoe, doing a very good job keeping it wide as Omar is in the chat, giving him a nice year on.
Yeah, definitely. These CDT boys are definitely not out to play. They're obviously really competitive guys, and look, always great fun to see out there. And just to update you, it's 87 there for Owen Wagner on the second run, so doesn't improve unfortunately, just small bit worse by 0.7. So look, Owen, come on, disappointed in you. 0.7.
So
But that's a 78 there for Tala. Next up is Roberto Camazzoni in another GR86, Brendan.
Yep, and a quick little update, since you knew so much about kits, you'll be a bit sad to hear that Anthony Taylor did mention in the chat it's not a Eurofighter who's driving it, it's actually a Big Duck Club kit, so, and it's the only one in comp, so I think we embarrassed ourselves a bit there, but Roberto is doing a very good job on that outside line there, finishing up the run, keeping it smooth. And what were you saying, Luke?
Right. If I were to be so bold, I was actually saying that it's one of the only not Eurofighter E92s on the grid, so I'm going to defend myself here. I'm not taking any of this, but yeah, real nice run there from Roberto.
Yep,
and
very good.
Just a little update is how the drop-off is working. Currently, it's Edward Husa on the line on the drop zone with a 73.7, so yeah, look, not ideal. And just above him actually is Roberto Camazzoni, so look, it's going to be very nervous times for them.
And it looks like that is the end of that group.
So just waiting for the next lot of drivers, which is our final lot, Group H. It's been so fun talking you through the action here tonight. Obviously, a lot more to come tomorrow, but look, we've had a lot of drivers going through, and look, a lot of big runs.
Been very, very exciting so far. Probably the most exciting for qualifying we've had, because it's weirdly been like we've had the judges saying this is probably going to be one of the easier layouts we've had, like way easier than round 1, but from the looks of it, it's still very competitive. So we have had a lot of people struggling, and we have had a lot of people doing well. So it's once again, it's just drifting.
And we do actually have some shake-ups as well. Like, you know, you have some big names there unable to make it. Like, your Marco Rucker is currently our championship leader. And, you know, some of the entertainers, as I'd call it, you know, the guys that mightn't be always as competitive, you know, maybe just getting their footing into sim drifting, like your Callum Allen boy, who just showed up and had a good time, you know what I mean? The guys that are coming on in the AC scene. But next up, we have Darius Ostraka, who, look, he's definitely not here to play. He's here to be up at the top.
Yep, this is going to be a massive, massive run, I reckon, as Darius is a very calculated driver and has a lot of talent behind him, as he is part of Team Erta alongside his team in SSU Kubelas, which I do think we had him earlier, didn't we? So
we did indeed.
So he was an 86, so he's got to get an 86 to beat his teammate. So will he go ahead and take initiative for Team Erta, or is he going to have to be... Well, is Anestas going to have more bragging rights? We will have to see.
There's always one rule in drifting, or any motorsport in general. You always have to beat the teammate. You know, they could be your best friend in the world, but, like, you have to beat the teammate. So, look, he's going to be trying his hardest to he doesn't care about where he qualifies, I'd say. He just wants the bragging rights, like you said.
Oh, yes, definitely. And the semaphore has gone walkies again. I think this is the most we've ever seen the semaphore move, to be honest, in this competition. But as it jumps for joy, as it's nearly the end of the evening for qualifying, we wait for him to line up that light so we can send Darius down the track.
So just having a few little bugs there with the camera, but nothing major.
Got Omar in the chat saying Semaphore had to go and take a leak really quick. I think, to be fair, I think he needed to oil the wheel up, if anything. So... If
it's on caster wheels, just lock them, please. Like,
yeah. To be fair, why haven't we invested in lockable casters? Because right now it looks like it's just on loose casters, and it's confusing. The stream casters. That was a terrible problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty bad.
I apologise to everyone. If
I was gonna say that we need a welder to weld the caster wheels, but we might need to weld the fellow commentator's note here now if he keeps coming out with accusations and jokes like this. Just unacceptable.
It's gonna give me bad omen for the top 32, isn't it?
Do you know what? You deserve to be DQ'd just for that joke.
Oh, no, that's a bit far. That's a bit far. Come on. You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna take the wheels off your A36 next time I see it.
Look, it's lucky I'm not a judge. It's lucky I'm not a judge.
There had to be a really bad dad joke. There had to be. It had to happen.
Yeah, but we've battles tomorrow. We have to do the little, you know, if there's two similar cars, we have to do the old Jared at the end and just do the little, oh, it's this car. But anyway, here we go. No jokes anymore. It's Darius Ostraka off the line in the Erta S15. His teammate opting for the slightly older car in the S14, but Darius putting on a show here so far. He doesn't seem to be the paciest driver here so far, but his line is always on point as he comes out through. Look at this now. Real nice job as he comes in through. Let's see what he can do. Flirting with the edge of the track, and now he looks quick as he comes in through to the roundabout. Darius doing a real nice job here, and yeah, look, just typical Erta Ostraka run, really.
Yep, that was a lot of momentum coming through that last horseshoe section. That was very, very fast. So I'm intrigued to see how the judges take this, as we have one score coming through so far, and there's our second. So we're just waiting on our head judge RYZE to get that third score in, and is going to be an 84.7. So very good start for Darius, but I know he wants to go higher. So now we have Rushandi Andrea, who is part of Team KMR, and he has done very well in practice so far, so I'm intrigued to see how he does, Luke.
Yeah, definitely. Always so cool to see the likes of an FD driver supporting sim racing. And yeah, look, Roshandy doing a real nice job in the RX-8, a replica of the team owner's car with Kyle Mohan. Look, doing a real nice job here so far. Not the most common chassis in the world here, but he's definitely making it work. And there you go. Look at this. Real commitment here from Roshandy as he gets across the line. And that was a very swift run.
Yes, it almost, to be fair, that was a very fast run. It kind of felt like it had finished before it even started.
And by the way, with Ostraka, I will say he has probably achieved his goal. He has beaten his teammate so far.
Oh yeah, he has, hasn't he?
Or has he? Yeah, he has.
Nice.
Or no, he hasn't, sorry. No, I'm wrong.
Oh,
The second run, sorry,
Yeah.
there we go. He's more to do, but he still has that second run.
you have
But, yeah, Roshandy Andrea with an 84, so doing a real nice job there. Next up is Danique Joseph, and definitely one of the best sense of humours on the grid, I'd argue. So I know he was questioning that GT Omega ad earlier on. You know, he's getting real in depth and how are they talking to each other. But look, it's 2024. There's all sorts of methods. But anyway, Danique Joseph, he's definitely communicating his way around the track here as he gets all the way out into that horseshoe now on big angle. Look at this. That BMW is working to get that spot on to the top 32 bracket.
Yes, indeed. Donique is a very talented driver. As he, in the round 1 mini comp, he did absolute bits. And the same with round 1 itself. He is a very, very good driver. So I'm very excited to see how he does for the rest of the season. And so far, we've not got a final score, but it looks like Yanis from RT Riga is coming through, and Donique got an 87.3, so a very good start to his qualifying session, as Yanis in that beautiful RTR, not RTR as in Ford 1, but the RT Riga team livery E92 there, coming around to that.
RTR is in the BMWs. As we come in through here. Yeah, real nice job here so far from Yanis. Just to update you guys there on how the drop zone is working out. It's currently 75.3 with Jesse DeSantos. So yeah, a lot of good drivers there getting knocked out. I think there's going to be a few upsets this round.
Oh yes, and the battles are definitely going to be very aggressive, that's for sure.
Oh, and just to update you, Brandon, specifically, you're currently sitting at 25th.
Yep, I just looked, and I'm not mad. I'm not complaining. I think at this point my top 32 is set. So
yeah, it's an 88.7 by the way for Yanis. So real nice run as we bring it back up to Darius Ostraka in that Ursa S15. So let's see, how is he gonna do? Can he better that 84.7 and get that coveted prize of beating his teammate?
And here we go, that S15 with that laid back wing, just as laid back as I feel right now watching this run, as he comes into outside zone 2, transitioning into zone 3, keeping it nice and wide, just doing a textbook Darius Ostraka run so far, as he comes around. Not too wide there, well, he was pretty damn wide, but it wasn't as wide as I thought he'd go, as he transitions into the final section here, coming towards the horseshoe, doing a very nice job. Once again, smoothness is key, and that is what Darius has provided. He listened to the judges very well there and did a really nice run.
Yeah, definitely. He's a very technical driver, that's for sure. As we just await, and it's going to be a big one. As we wait for RYZE, let's see what can he do. It's an 89 and a 90 so far. Let's see what will RYZE drop in there. I think he's the teammate bet. So will this be our 4th run coming into the 90s? And it's an 89.7, so he beats the teammate, but just about doesn't get into the 90s, unfortunately. But look, I'm sure he's going to be happy with that one. Next, we're going to bring it back to Roshandy Andrea in that RX-8.
I've got Omar, one of the owners of CDT, say, "How dare you score higher than me, Brandon?" I'm sorry, I love you, but I'm here to try and win, bro. As we have Roshandy coming in here with that RX-8 from Mclellan Racing into out zone 3, coming around to clip 4, transitioning through out clip 5, doing a very good job so far, doing what he came here to do. It's a very nice car to drive. I did take it under, I did do a couple of laps in this car around this track, and it's very nice to drive. So, but just rushing too wide here and unfortunately zeroing his run. And it's a bit of a sad way to finish the qualifying session for him, but he did a very good job. So we will be seeing him in the show tomorrow in the top 32. So big congratulations there to Rushandy for doing what he did. And
Yeah, definitely. Next up is Danique Joseph, and it is the other non-Eurofighter, E92, as we bring it on through to GT Omega. Ali doing a real nice job here, and yeah, just such a chill guy, and really funny as well, you know. Yeah, definitely vocal, which is always nice to see, and he's definitely vocal with this run. He wants to make a statement here, currently sitting on an 87.3. What can he do to answer that one? As will he better it? The judges will now be dropping in their scores, as I do believe.
Danique, you cheeky scamp, it's looking very good so far.
As we wait for RYZE once again, this is gonna be dramatic. It's 62 and we're still waiting on one more. So let's see.
Oh, here we go. And it
That's
is
a 92.
Oh, we were nice and sick there.
There you go. So that actually puts him at the top of qualifying. So there you have it. It does, because of the other run. He's joined with Barna High Boys, but since his other run was better, he is currently top of qualifying. Let's see, can Yanis answer this though, as we come on through with it currently an 88.7. And yeah, I just love the look of these Racing Team Riga E92s. And yeah, look, Riga, it's always such a cool track. It's just a cool area, to be honest, you know. I definitely want to make the journey out there, and these boys are just as cool as the area. And look, cool, calm and collected as he aggressively comes in there.
Beautiful, beautiful work there from Yanis. Amazing work from the RT Riga boys, and the scores are coming in very quick from the judges here.
If I'm not mistaken, that is indeed the last run of the night.
It is indeed. What my teammate Kian Reedy was unfortunately not able to make it, so he was able to take advantage of the system we have here, and he will be getting a score.
Now, I do see there is a Jason Cave in the VCs, so we might be seeing the most infamous car on the grid aside from the car.
I don't think we will be, unfortunately. I think he's just here to support his team.
Right, so we won't be seeing a Jason Cave, unfortunately. If you are wondering about the car, it is a Toyota Supra with a Tesla front end. But there you go, Danique Joseph top in qualifying there with a 92-point run. Then Darius Ostrake with an 89.7. This is the group ones, by the way. And Yanis Sidra with an 88.7. And look, that was definitely an exciting qualifying run. But the real excitement comes tomorrow, Brandon.
Oh, yes. So we got the top 32 of the second round of the Scottish Virtual Drift Series. And it looks like... Where did I come? Wait, data. There we go. So I came 26th in qualifying. So I will be seeing you guys on the track. And hopefully we can pull out a result for both FrontSide Racing and the S3DS team, because I don't only just represent my team, I also represent the S3DS staff. So it's going to be a very interesting round, that's for sure. It's going to be, I think the battles are going to be very fierce, and I'm looking forward to it. So it's been an absolute pleasure for the second qualifying round of the season. And yeah, I think that is where we will leave it today, I do believe.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for watching, and big thanks to all of our partners there. You saw them throughout the night at the bottom right of our screen, and big thanks especially there to GT Omega for supplying the wonderful ART cockpit there to the season winner, and a lovely chair for P2 in the championship. So look, that is all from us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show me what you got. Oh,
Is that everything you got?
last turn.
Catch me if you can.
That was great.
That was a good game.
Unlock true experience with GT Omega.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell 'em I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
GT Omega, stay ahead of the game.